Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy KCM What Ifs. Today we are gonna be reading Naruto, the Black Fox, or what if Naruto was killed and joined the Fox village. So sit back, relax and enjoy. What? Asked a still confused Naruto. My sister Callista fell hard for Haishir because he was so cool and dark, most popular boy in the class next to me, said Minato as he glared at Haishir. Of course my father disapproved of the relationship, but Haishir played my sister to try and get access to Namake's power and wealth. He asked to marry my sister and they eloped. In response to the marriage my father banned my sister from the clan and all her rights as a Namake's until she left him. Isn't that rough? Asked Sakura. You have not been around Haishir, have you? Asked Minato as Sakura shook her head. He treats everyone who isn't a Hyuga man of the main house like crap, and a woman is lower than crap. He used to slap my sister around, and no matter how much I tried to protect her I couldn't. I tried talking her into leaving, a few times she actually did, but she always went back to him. I can't believe I never knew that, thought Tsunade. Imagine if Hinata and Naruto had gotten together instead of Naruto and Sakura. Tell me, Haishir, is Callista alive or did she die in your mad quest for a son with the power of the Namake's and the Byakugan? Asked Minato as he glared at Haishir. She passed away not before giving me two girls, said Haishir as he crossed his arms. Luckily one of them is useful but the other one is weak. Minato looked down at the girl by Haishi's side. For a moment Haishir was taken aback. She looked so much like Callista. If you replaced her Hyuga eyes with the deep blue eyes of his sister then it would have been perfect. Is this my niece? Asked Minato. Yes. The weak one, Hinata, said Haishir before grinning. You should feel Ashmanded you crushed her feelings for your boy that she had since she was a kid. Even if they were not cousins you wouldn't let them be together. Haishir, you hate lower class people even more than the Namake's clan. Stated Minato, and until Naruto learned about his family he would have been a lower class to you. Correct, and the Namake's and their weak ideas of treating everyone equal is just above those lower people, stated Haishir. The strong people and clans like the main Hyuga house use the weak to do our bidding. Like you used my sister's love for you. Said Minato. Correct, and it cost her life. Stated Haishir. I can't believe you, said Minato. You knew about her condition and yet you still did it. What condition? Asked Sakura. My sister suffered an injury during one of her battles during the war, said Minato. The injury means that pregnancy was very risky for her. She died in childbirth, didn't she? Correct, said Haishir calmly. Hinata's heart was falling to pieces and then breaking into dust. No. This can't be, thought Hinata. Naruto-kun can't be my cousin, he just can't be. I love him. We are meant to be together. I am so tempted to kill you, Haishir, said Minato as he suddenly punched Haishir across the face, sending him crashing into the ground. Haishir got to his knees, blood running out of his nose and staining the ground. But I'll settle for punching you. You have no idea what I can do, said Haishir as he glared at his old enemy Minato. You can do nothing to me, you coward, said Minato. You never could, and the Namake's clan funds at least half your clan's business. You're do nothing because the only thing you love is money, and because Naruto Namake's is the last Namake's he can pull the clan's investments and crush your clan. Namake's, I always hated you, said Minato as he looked at Hinata. Come on Hinata, we are leaving. Don't think I am done. You will not harm Hinata, said Minato. You can't touch me, they're Namake's. Snapped Haishir. She is my daughter and in my clan I can use her however I see fit, and like her mother she follows orders well. Minato bit his lip. As much as he hated it he was right. There were laws in the Leaf that allowed clans to do what they wanted. There was nothing he can do. Hinata lowered her head and followed her father into the darkness of the night. Meanwhile in the demon world Sasuke stood looking at Karen. She had passed out almost the moment the stone snakes bit into her flesh. So Sasuke, do you think she will survive the infusion of chakra? Asked Bilal. Yes, she will, said Sasuke. I am surprised you have that much faith in her, said Bilal. I don't, but I know she loves me for some unknown reason and that love will drive her to live, said Sasuke. Using love to promote your own goals, very good Sasuke, said Bilal, however love can only take you so far. Yes, that is why I am here, said Sasuke, when I was going though that I could sense chakra even when I couldn't see or hear. So by you being her you're hoping you think she will think that you are watching over her because you love her and that will drive her to live? Asked Bilal. Correct, I am using her like everyone else, said Sasuke. Including us? Asked Bilal. Yes, I am using you to kill my brother and Naruto, said Sasuke. And our goal is to kill the Kyuubi student, so our goals are the same, said Bilal. Correct, said Sasuke. However, I remember in our report about you something about restoring your clan, said Bilal. What of it? Asked Sasuke. Do you plan to use Karen? Asked Bilal, combining the power of the Sharingan with the ability to sense chakra at extremely distance would be very useful in any offspring. Unknown, said Sasuke, however she is by far the most useful woman I have met. I see, said Bilal. Why have you come here? Asked Sasuke. To give you this, said Bilal as he used his tail to hold up a sword, a snake sword. It looked very much like the sword he currently had, the one that Orochimaru had given him. However, he could tell something was different about it. He lifted up the sword. It was far lighter than the one he currently had. He pulled the sword out of its black stealth only to see it was razor sharp. Demon steel, lighter and stronger than anything you humans can possibly make, said Bilal. The royal forgers are making weapons for you and your team as we speak. This is the first off the line. Sasuke just held the sword before moving it around himself faster than even he believed possible. This is a good sword, said Sasuke. Yes. And Naruto has a sword forged by the foxes, so be ready for that, said Bilal. We wanted to put you on equal footing with him. I could be unarmed and still be above him, said Sasuke as he replaced his sword with his new one. Meanwhile, back on the grassy field, Minato and the others still stood. I don't have much more time, do I? Asked Minato. No, just under 10 minutes, said Naruto. Still, it was good breathing the fresh air once more, said Minato as he looked at Sakura and the others. No offense you all, but I want to talk to Naruto alone. Understandable, said Tsunade as Sakura nodded. She just stood there and watched as Naruto and Minato walked off. Listen Naruto, I already know the answer but I have to ask, do you love Sakura? Asked Minato as Naruto looked down. Do I love her? Yes, said Naruto, I think I loved her before I knew what love was. I sense a but coming, said Minato as he looked at his son. When we were kids Sakura-chan used to love Sasuke, said Naruto. And you're worried that she really loves Sasuke and you're second place? Asked Minato as his son nodded his head. I don't think so. How do you know? Asked Naruto. Because from what I can see Sakura is a lot like her mother and she looks at you the same way Rin looked at her husband, said Minato, and young girls in general don't know what they want when they are kids. They get crushes on the cool guy in school and it is only around this age that they actually come around. Maybe, but am I really worthy of Sakura-chan? I am demon child, said Naruto as his father shook his head. No Naruto, you're not a demon child, you're my son and a hero, said Minato. I am nothing compared to you, said Naruto as Minato smiled. That is what I said to my dad when I became a ninja, said Minato as Naruto looked at him confused. You probably don't hear about him now, but my father, your grandfather Altair Namikaze, was a big hero during the Second Ninja War. What? Asked Naruto. I became a hero during the Third War, said Minato, and I became more famous than him, and someday you will become more famous than me. I don't think that is possible, said Naruto as Minato smiled. That is what I said when my dad said that someday I would be a bigger hero than him, said Minato as he rubbed the top of his son's head. Someday Naruto, you will be a greater hero than me, and then the generation after you will look to you and become even greater still. That is how the leaf works, each generation is better than the last. I will try my best, said Naruto. That is all I can ask, said Minato, and Sakura will be there every step of the way. Yeah, I think she will be, said Naruto with a smile. Now Naruto, I wish we had more time and I wish I could do more to help you, but there is one thing I can do, said Minato as his tone got serious. Naruto, there when you get back to the leaf and get to the Namikaze compound, find the record room. It is in the basement under the main house. If you go to the back right wall you will find a seal. Place your hand on the seal, it reacts to Namikaze blood and it will open up. Inside you'll find the hidden Justu of the Namikaze clan, including the one I added, the Flying Thunder God technique. That's the just that gave you the name the Yellow Flash, said Naruto as Minato nodded. Also there are some medical scrolls that Sakura may like, said Minato with a smile. I'll give them to her, said Naruto. I wish I could have teach you the justice myself just like my father taught me, but I can't do that, said Minato. I am sorry that couldn't happen, said Naruto as he lowered his head. As he noticed a dark figure appears in a cloud. Our time is up, Todd is here. It's time, said Todd. Naruto, just remember I and your mother loved you and have a good life, said Minato as he turned to look at the others. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye Minato, said Tsunade. Sakura, one last thing, said Minato as Sakura looked at him, make sure Naruto has a happy life. Will do, said Sakura as Minato turned to Naruto, who was once again crying. Son, I am so proud of you, said Minato with tears of his own as he hugged his son as he started to fade away. I love you Dad, said Naruto. I love you too son, said Minato as he disappeared from the earth once again. For a while Naruto just stood there looking at where his father had once been. Naruto-kun, are you alright? Asked Sakura as she walked up to Naruto. Yeah. For the first time in a long time Sakura-chan, I actually feel good, said Naruto with a smile. I finally know who my parents are, that they didn't abandon me. That they loved me. I can't imagine the burden that must have been lifted off Naruto-kun. Thought Sakura. Years of thinking that your own parents had abandoned you, it would weigh down on anyone, said inner Sakura. So Uzumaki, you're related to the fourth Hokage, said Kiba trying to get a laugh. It's not Uzumaki anymore, said Naruto, it's Namikaze, Naruto Namikaze. The sun had risen over the village, hidden the leaves as Naruto stood in front of a large gate. The large oak gate had a seal over the center of it. It was a simple design, a red circle with a golden cross running through the circle. The whole design was inside a seal blue circle. My family crest, thought Naruto as he looked at the seal. He looked down the line of well-kept grass. The large stone outer wall had fresh white paint on it. Every once in a while smaller version of the crest on the main door was painted on the wall, not unlike the walls around the Uchiha clan compound. However, unlike the Uchiha clan compound was located near the outer wall of the village, the Namikaze clan compound was near the center of the village. In fact, Naruto could look over his shoulder and see the Hokage mountain looming just down the road. Alright, you can do this Naruto. Thought Naruto as he pushed open the gate and saw the stone walkway that lead up to a large house similar to the ones he saw at the Hyuga estate. There were dozens of paths leading off to dozens of slightly smaller houses. Naruto slowly walked up to the main house and pushed the door open. To his surprise he found a living room that was clean. A self-cleaning seal, that is the only way it is possible for the place to be clean, thought Naruto as he walked into the room. He was the first person to be in the house in just over 16 years. As he stood in the living room he noticed the stone fireplace with photos of what had to be his grandparents. There was photos of his father at a young age, and then he noticed a photo of a young woman with bright red hair standing with Minato. He looked at the young woman, her bright red hair and violet eyes. Somehow, even before he read the bottom of the frame which had her name, he knew she was his mom. Naruto just looked away from the fireplace and turned toward the kitchen. It looked clean until he opened the refrigerator and was instantly hit by the horrible smell of the food that had been left there 16 years too long. Okay, I am getting a new fridge, that is for sure, coughed Naruto as he walked past the long dead flowers on the table and headed down the hallway passing the bathroom. He opened the door at the far end of the hallway and entered the master bedroom. The room was dominated by a large hardwood bed. It was his parents' bed. He walked around the bed seeing things that most kids would be normal to see, but to him it meant so much. His father's pillow, his mother's makeup. All the normal things meant so much to him. He looked at the nightstand and saw a headband he had never seen before in a small glass case. My mom came from Whirlpool Country, so that must be their headband, thought Naruto as he turned and walked away. He quickly walked into 3 empty spare bedrooms, an office, a lounge, and then he finally entered the room beside his parents' room, and instantly his eyes widened as his hands started to shake. Meanwhile, in the demon world, the stone snakes that had been infusion demon chakra into Karen finally pulled back. Karen fell to the ground out like a light. Slowly Sasuke walked up to her and checked her pulse. Amazing, she was alive. So did the female make it? Asked Bilal. Yes, somehow she did, said Sasuke as he looked at Snake. How did the others do? They made it somehow, said Bilal. However, Yugo had to be shocked back to life after the infusion. Then we will rest for 24 hours and then move out to find Itachi, said Sasuke. After I kill Itachi we will move on Naruto. Sounds like a plan, said Bilal. Back in the Leaf, Sakura Haruno walked into the Namake's house. She hadn't seen Naruto in a few hours. He wanted to see his house alone, but now she was getting worried. Where are you, Naruto-kun? Thought Sakura as she listened only to hear the sound of someone crying softly. She walked down the hall until she found the open door. She could see Naruto standing in the room holding a stuffed teddy bear. Sakura was confused until she looked at the room. The walls were painted blue with teddy bear wallpaper running across the wall. In the room was a toy box that said Naruto, full of new babies' toys and stuffed animals. There was a crib in the room with a changing station beside it, complete with a bag of diapers waiting to be used and a bottle. My god, this is Naruto's nursery, thought Sakura. Hello Sakura-chan, welcome to my bedroom, said Naruto, still looking at the bear. It looked like any other stuffed bear, only it had Naruto's name on it and the words, "Our little boy love mom and dad." Naruto, are you alright? Asked Sakura. It's just so hard to take it all in, said Naruto as he looked at Bear. You don't have to take it all in at once, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she placed her hand on the bear and pulled it out of Naruto's hands and placed it back in the crib. I don't think anyone could take it all in. It's just I can't help myself from imagining what my life could have been like, said Naruto as he looked out the large window. I mean, always dreamed about being part of a family, but in here I can actually see what it would like. Sakura followed Naruto's eyes to see an overgrown rose garden next to a small training field. Sakura didn't need to guess what Naruto was daydreaming about. It didn't take a huge imagination to see Minato training a 12-year-old Naruto in the ninja ways while his mother worked in a well-trimmed rose garden, watching and providing hints to Naruto to help him defeat his father. Naruto, I wish there was something I can do to give you back the time with your parents, but I can't, said Sakura. No one can, said Naruto as he turned and walked out the room. Sakura followed him as he went to another door, only to find steps heading down. At first Sakura didn't know if she should follow him, but in the end decided to. She walked down into the basement only to find a large study with rows of books and scrolls going off into the distance. It was the largest amount of records she had ever seen outside of the Hokage records. To top it all off, by the stairs was a bar located in the corner. Naruto simply looked around before walking toward the back. You coming, Sakura-chan? Asked Naruto as Sakura followed him toward the back. Sakura watched as Naruto stopped at the back side of the records. Sakura could just make out the outline of the seal of the Namake's clan. Naruto raised his hand and placed it on the crest. The moment he did, part of the wall jumped back, forming a door. Naruto-kun, what is this? Asked Sakura as she looked into the hidden room. It was a long, narrow room. Along the wall were ancient scrolls and books, each one with a seal of their own. The Namake's secret records, said Naruto, only to have Sakura slap him across the back of the head. What was that for? You baka, you're not supposed to show clan secrets to anyone who isn't in your clan, snapped Sakura. You don't see Shikamaru telling you how do his shadow position just do? Well, my dad wanted you to have the medical scrolls, explained Naruto as Sakura looked at him. Why would Naruto's dad want me to have medical justice that are his clan's secret? thought Sakura as she entered the records. It wasn't hard to find an entire section full of at least 5 dozen scrolls with just a name she never heard of. Why would he trust me with his clan's knowledge? Maybe he is betting on the fact that it will still be in the clan in the end, said inner Sakura. What? Asked Sakura, confused at where her inner self was going. Sakura Namikaze has a nice ring, doesn't it? Said inner Sakura with a wink as Sakura got what her inner self was saying. Sakura picked up a book only to set it back down. Naruto-kun, I can't take these, said Sakura. Why not? Asked Naruto. My dad wanted you to have them and so do I. They are your clan's secret, they are supposed to help you, not me, said Sakura. Sakura, I know very little about medical justice, they would be useless to me, said Naruto. Besides, can't you knowing these justice help me if I ever get hurt so bad that my healing abilities doesn't work? I guess, said Sakura as she opened a book. Her eyes widened as she looked at the medical formula. If this was right, it was a food pill that would be 5 times stronger than a Kimichi clan food pill with only a fourth of the health risk, and that was just the first chapter of a book larger than any of the medical books she had on her bookshelves at home. Thanks Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she looked toward Naruto and found looking at a scroll marked, the Flying Thunder God Technique. It's my dad's Justu, the one that made him famous as the Yellow Flash, said Naruto. I want to learn it. It would probably take years to master a Justu like that, said Sakura. If I can master Sage Mode, I can master this Justu, said Naruto as he picked up the scroll and walked out. Sakura took the book with her and walked out with him, the door closing behind them. To her surprise, Naruto walked behind the bar and began looking through it. He quickly found a bottle what appeared to be whiskey. Naruto, you know you're underage, said Sakura as Naruto poured himself a glass before pouring another glass. I will not tell you don't, said Naruto as he held out the glass. It would be a lie if Sakura said she had never had Akalo before. Hell, her master was Tsunade after all. Fine, just don't make it a habit, said Sakura as she took the glass. I don't plan to, however, after a day like this I need this, said Naruto as he took the bitter drink. I can't blame you, said Sakura as she downed the drink herself. Meanwhile, across the world, Zetsu reported to Pain. So he is that powerful? Asked Pain. Yes, he defeat Kakuzu with easy, and then Haiden fell with relative easy to a form I have never seen before, said Zetsu. Tell me about it, ordered Pain. It's hard to explain, only one arm changed, but it was unlike anything I ever seen before by anyone, said Zetsu. Needless to say, Naruto has become a threat. I see. Once we get the other demons, we will look into ways of defeating Naruto and making him call out the Kyuubi and capture him, said Pain. How close are the Deidara and Tobi to finding the 3 tails? Asked Zetsu. Not as close as they are to killing each other, said Pain. The next day, Sasuke along with his team appeared near the coastline. Why did you pick this place? Asked Suigetsu. Our scouts report that Itachi and his partner are in the area, said Bilal. Alright, let's find Itachi, said Sasuke as he looked toward Karen. Do you have him? Maybe it's a large chakra source and it is similar to yours, said Karen. Where? Asked Sasuke. To the southwest, said Karen as she pointed down the beach. Sakura lied on her bed reading the book that Naruto had given her. It was full of so much information. Information about justice she never thought possible, and now it was all at her fingertips. Just as she was about to start a new chapter, a knock came from her door. Come on in, said Sakura as she looked up to see her mother standing there with a book of her own in her hands. Hi, Sakura, said Rin. Hi mother, said Sakura as she glared at her mother for a second before looking back down at the book. Listen Sakura, I understand if you hate me for what I said and did during those years to Naruto, said Rin as she sat down on her daughter's bed. I don't hate you, Mom, said Sakura. You were doing what you thought was right after losing Dad to the Kyuubi, said Sakura. And Minato and Kushina, said Rin as Sakura looked at her. Yes, I know that they are Naruto's parents, and about what happened the other night. How? Naruto-kun didn't want the village to know his true name yet, said Sakura. Tsunade told me when you went to Naruto's party and about what happened in the woods when Naruto fought his father, said Rin as Sakura looked at her mother. Why did she tell you? Asked Sakura. Because at the time I was about to throw you out of the house for hanging with Naruto, said Rin as she opened the book, which turned out to be a photo album. With the first image being, she told me so that I would open my eyes for maybe the first time in years. Sakura followed her mother's eyes to see that she was looking at an image of a young Minato laughing like an idiot. Apart from the whisker marks, he was a perfect match to Naruto when he was a kid. Sakura sat up and looked down at the photo album. It contained photos from her mom's life she had never seen before. It focused mostly around her friends, like birthday parties and playing in the park. Mom, how did you and Dad meet Naruto's dad? He is a Namikaze and we aren't council-level clan, said Rin. Well, your grandma was a medical student under Minato's grandma, Naruto's great-grandma Callisto Namikaze. She was considered the greatest medical mind until Tsunade came around. She wrote the book that Naruto gave me, thought Sakura as she looked at the book. Well, my mom got to become real good friends with Minato's parents, said Rin. And when you and Minato were born you played together, asked Sakura as she pointed to a photo of her mother and Minato, maybe 6 or 7 years old, playing in a pool. My mom joked that Minato and I would get married someday, said Rin with an evil grin as Sakura winced a bit. Well, until your father came around when we were 12 and became Minato's best male friend. Isn't that around the same time you met Ino's mom? Asked Sakura as she noticed a blonde woman in the photo that looked a lot like Ino. She didn't appear much, but more than a few times. Yeah, she and I didn't join the ninja corps like Minato and Kane, said Rin as she turned the page to show Minato and her father standing there with their new headbands on. Then when we were 16 Kushina Uzumaki came to the village, said Rin as she turned the page to show a young woman with long bright red hair. She is beautiful, thought Sakura as she noticed another picture. Minato and Kushina stood in the background looking at each other with a slight smile on their faces. They had to keep their love hidden because of the war. Looking back, I can't believe I said those horrible things to my godson, said Rin. Who is Naruto's godfather? Would it be Dad? Asked Sakura. I don't think so. Minato couldn't tell anyone about his love for Kushina because of the rock, said Rin. Kushina never told me she and Minato were together. So Naruto's godfather would have to be at least a Jonin level, and your father was a Chunin. I thought he was a Jonin, asked Sakura. No, he should have been, but because of the war he couldn't take the exam, said Rin. Best bet for Naruto's godfather would be Minato's sensei Jiraiya, the Toad Sage. Wow, that pervert being Naruto's godfather? I am now kind of glad now that Naruto-kun went to the Kyuubi instead of spending years with the pervert, said Sakura. How is Naruto dealing with the news? Asked Rin. Sakura couldn't help but remembering Naruto standing in his nursery just holding a stuffed bear in his hand. He is overwhelmed, said Sakura as she remembered back to last night. Flashback. Come on, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she helped him up the stairs. Naruto had drunk so much whiskey that Sakura had lost count. I am coming, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as Sakura smelled the alcohol on his breath. Normally Sakura would beat him senseless for being drunk, but she had to admit Naruto need to loosen up. However, now it was time for bed. Sakura made her way toward Naruto's parents' room only to have Naruto push away from the door. No, I can't sleep there, not yet, said Naruto. Then where? Because your bedroom isn't built for someone your size, said Sakura. The couch, said Naruto as Sakura led him to the living room and to the still clean couch. Naruto instantly closed his eyes as Sakura found some blankets in the closet and laid it across Naruto before tucking him in. Sakura sat there for a little bit just watching Naruto sleep. He looked so peaceful sleeping there like a baby all wrapped up. Then suddenly Naruto rolled into a more conformable position as his arm found its way out of the blanket. Now that is more Naruto-like, laughed Sakura to herself as she brushed back some of Naruto's hair and kissed his forehead. Sakura-chan, said Naruto happily in his sleep as Sakura smiled. End flashback. I can understand that, said Rin, and judging from how you passed out last night, you and Naruto found the Namikaze bar. For a moment Sakura didn't know what to say. She didn't want to admit to her mom that she had drank some alcohol. I'll take that as a yes, said Rin as she looked at her daughter. Yes, said Sakura, hoping that her mother wouldn't freak out. Sakura, I am going to admit something to you, said Rin as Sakura looked at her. Minato, Kushina, your father and me did the same thing when we were your age, only we had to hid it from Naruto's grandparents. I only had 2 drinks, it was Naruto-kun who got wasted, said Sakura, and I can't blame him for that. Neither can I, said Rin before looking at Sakura. Listen Sakura, I don't care if you drink a little, you're a teenage ninja and because of that you can die at any moment. However, I will say this, I don't want to be a grandma for a while. Sakura instantly bushed at her mom's comment. I wouldn't worry about that right now, Mom, said Sakura as she looked at the ground. Naruto hasn't even kissed me since we left the Demon Fox village. He is worried about you, said Rin as Sakura looked at her mother. He doesn't want the villagers attacking you because of him, he is protecting you. That makes sense, Naruto-kun is hated by the villagers and he must think I would be in danger if they knew. Thought Sakura. We can handle ourselves, said inner Sakura. I know, but it is sweet that Naruto-kun would do that, said Sakura with a smile. Yeah, it is, answered inner Sakura. Also it may have to do with the fact that Naruto has had a few rough days, said Rin as she looked at the book her daughter had been reading and the seal on the front of it. Is that a Namikaze clan book? Asked Rin. Yeah, Naruto-kun let me borrow it, said Sakura as she picked up the book. Minato told him to give it to me. Minato must really trust you then, said Rin as she smiled, understanding why Minato trusted Sakura. So are you going to go see Naruto today? Yeah, but I was going to go over around lunch and bring something because he has no food in his house, answered Sakura as her mom smiled. What is that old saying, the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach, said Rin with a laugh. I just wish I was as good at cooking stuff as you, said Sakura. Hell, the first year of your father's and I marriage I burned everything including eggs, laughed Rin as Sakura joined in. Across town, Naruto walking in his backyard/training field. It was strange walking across the somehow well-kept grounds. The grass was cut and the only flowers were overgrown, and even then that never outgrew their boundaries. Naruto had checked some of the side houses and found that they were empty of everything, then again Minato was the last of his clan. Near the center of the large compound he found a small park including a swimming pool and playground. Likely for kids to play in, said Naruto out loud as he looked at the empty pool. Or you could fill it up and see the pink vixen in. What do you humans call it? Asked Saito. Swimming suit, said Naruto. Yes, but the female version of that, said Saito as he scratched his head with a tail. It's 2 pieces. A bikini, answered Naruto as he tried not to think of Sakura in one. He didn't know if he could stop himself if he did. He quickly decided to change topics. So how did the Kyuubi take your actions? He was disappointed, with both of you, answered a voice behind them as Naruto turned to see the Kyuubi standing there with Katara at his side. Lord Kyuubi, said Naruto as he bowed to the demon fox. I am in your house, Naruto, and the master of the house never bows, said Kyuubi as he stated a tradition among the demon foxes. Sorry sir, said Naruto as he stood back up. However, I am still disappointed in you, said Kyuubi. Revenge isn't the fox way. No offense sir, you want revenge against Madara Uchiha, said Naruto as Kyuubi's eyes widened. How do you know that? Asked Kyuubi. I had shadow clones reading up on the clan history, and one of the books told about the Mangekyo Sharingan of Madara Uchiha and its power to control people, said Naruto. You hate Sharingan. It doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together. I have trained you well, Naruto, said Kyuubi as he lowered his head. Yes, I want revenge on Madara Uchiha for what he did. What did he do? Asked a new voice as the demons and Naruto looked to see Sakura walking up with a basket in hand. I guess since you already know half of it, might as well tell it all, said Kyuubi. He used his Sharingan to make me attack your village. So you didn't want to attack the village? Asked Sakura. No, I don't like human flesh, too many tendons makes it a hard crew, said Kyuubi, and that isn't counting your ninja armor. I think we are getting off task, said Katara. How did he take you over? I didn't think anything we humans have had an effect on a demon like you, said Sakura. Normally you're correct, but I was emotionally weak at the time, said Kyubi as Sakura and Naruto looked at the demon fox. Naruto wasn't the only one to lose a family that day, said Saito as he looked at Sakura, or did you not notice that there is no queen of the demon foxes? Sakura's eyes widened as she understood what was happening. You lost your wife? Asked Sakura. Yes, I lost my mate and my newborn daughter, said Kyubi. Those two losses brought the Kyubi's defenses down so far that Madara took control, said Katara. I see, said Sakura, I am sorry for your wife and daughter. Thank you, said Kyubi, it's a pain that will never go away. I understand, but in time you will find someone that makes you happy, said Sakura as Naruto and all the foxes lowered their heads. What? Sakura-chan, that can't happen, said Naruto, foxes mate only once and for life. Oh, said Sakura as she realized had just said something really stupid. Yes, once I mate with Saito, he and I will be bond together forever with the fox seal, and we can never mate with another fox because we can never love another like the seal, said Katara. I see, said Sakura. No you don't, said Katara. She doesn't need to know the rest, said Saito. I think she does, said the Kyubi as he nodded at Katara to carry on. The fox seal creates a sort of mental link with the other member of the seal, said Katara. You mean the seal allows you to talk to your mate in your mind? Asked Sakura. You can do that, but you could block that, said Katara. You can't block the true part of the seal. See, you feel what your mate feels, said the Kyubi. If they are happy then you know it. Or if they are in the mood to play, said Katara with a grin. But the biggest thing you feel is the love for each other, said Kyubi as he looked into the distance, and once you feel that you can't love anyone else, it doesn't feel right. I see, said Sakura. No you don't, answered Naruto as Sakura looked at him. You remember the tattoo I got? Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? Asked Sakura. It makes Naruto, for the lack of a better term, half a demon fox, said Kyubi as Sakura's eyes widened. Don't worry, he is still human, he just have access to our summon and our chakra. Okay, what does that have to do with having one mate forever? Asked Sakura. It means that whoever I mate with first will be my mate for life, said Naruto as Sakura's eyes widened. Okay, that explains another reason why Naruto-kun is taking his time when it comes to dating. He gets one shot, thought Sakura. Basically, Sakura-chan, I need to find true love the first time around, said Naruto, because the first woman I sleep with is my mate for life. We have to make sure he picks us, said inner Sakura. Meanwhile, across the world a pair of people walked across a sand-covered beach. The high mountain cliffs above provided shade from the bright noon sun. Suddenly one of the men stooped. What is it, Itachi? Asked Kisame as he stopped. We have company, said Itachi as he turned and looked behind him to see a four-man squad before him. It's been a long time, Itachi, said Sasuke as he glaring at his older brother. Yes, it has been a while, little brother, said Itachi as he looked at his brother. Yes, it has been a while, little brother, said Itachi as he looked at his little brother. You have changed. Yes, I have used my hate and rage to gain power, and now I will kill you, said Sasuke as Kisame laughed a bit. I would like to see you try that, laughed Kisame. I wouldn't be laughing, Kisame, stated Itachi as Kisame stopped laughing. They are different, not unlike Jinchuriki power. You don't miss anything, do you, brother, said Sasuke as his new Sharingan eyes activated. However, that doesn't matter, for soon you will be dead. Strange, I thought Sharingan eyes are black and red, not white and black, said Kisame. They are, answered Itachi. Like I said, they are different, they have demon chakra in them. You are correct, said Karen. How is that possible? Asked Kisame. We made a deal with 3 demon lords that are above the Kyubi, said Sasuke as dark purple demon chakra covered his body. Karen followed him as dark blue chakra appeared around Yugo and dark blue chakra covered Suigetsu. Once you're dead I will take your sword, said Suigetsu as he pointed his own sword at Kisame. You will never touch this sword, said Kisame as he pulled out his Samahata sword. Karen, Yugo, stay back, ordered Sasuke. Suigetsu, you can have Kisame, but Itachi is mine. A one-on-one fight, you're making this too easy, said Kisame. No Kisame, they are not, stated Itachi as Kisame looked at him, we are likely not getting out of here alive. What? Asked Kisame, how could you say that, Itachi, they are just kids. Let me show you what these kids can do, said Suigetsu as he charged forward, followed a second later by Sasuke. Meanwhile, back in the leaf, Kiba knocked on Hinata's door. She isn't coming out, said Haisher as he looked at his unwelcomed guest. She hasn't been seen since that night in the woods, said Kiba. How do you know she is alive? Like this, said Haisher as he activated his Byakugan and saw his daughter crying into a pillow yet again with an old photo of Naruto in his arms. She is fine. Fine? Asked Kiba as he glared at the leader of the Hyuga clan. She has been crying for days and you say she is fine? Do you even care about her? No, said Haisher, she is weak and weakness has no place in the Hyuga clan. In fact, I made arrangements for her to get the birdcage seal tomorrow night. What? Yelled Kiba. Calm down or I will remove you from my home, said Haisher as Kiba glared at him. My daughter has proven herself to be weaker than her younger sister and as such she will be moved into the branch family while Hanabi takes her place as the future leader of the clan. I can't believe you would do this, said Kiba as he glared at Haisher. However, before Haisher could say anything, Niji walked up. Sir, said Niji as he went to attention in front of the Hyuga clan leader. What is it? Asked Haisher. Sir, message from the Hokage. She is calling a council meeting in an hour, said Niji. It has to do with the Namikaze brat, snapped Haisher as he turned and headed toward his own room to get ready for the council meeting. Niji, get this dog out of my house. Sir, said Niji as he waited for Haisher to leave. Sorry Kiba, but I follow my orders. I understand, said Kiba as he started walking out. Just keep an eye on Hinata, I think she may try to do something bad. Suicide? Asked Niji. Yes, said Kiba as he started down the stairs. From losing Naruto to Sakura seems like a lot when she still has a chance. It isn't like they are married, said Niji as Kiba stooped. He wished he was allowed to tell Niji the truly that Naruto was really the son of the fourth Hokage and Hinata's first cousin and Niji's second. However, his mother had banned him from telling. She has loved him for years and it looks like she has lost him to Sakura, explained Kiba. I understand, said Niji as Kiba walked out the door. The moment he was out, he whispered to himself. No, you don't. Across the world, the sound of clashing metal filled the air as Sasuke's sword dug into Itachi's kunai. Itachi had just the right amount of time to pull his kunai before getting run though by Sasuke's sword. Kisame was lucky he already had his sword out. You can't stop me, Itachi, I will kill you for what you have done, said Sasuke as Itachi noticed that Sasuke's sword had traveled halfway through the steel of the kunai. You will die at my hands. I am not dead yet, little brother, stated Itachi as he jumped back as his Mango Sharingan activated. To his surprise, he couldn't trap Sasuke in a genjutsu. Genjutsu doesn't work on me now, Itachi, said Sasuke as his black and white Sharingan rotated at high speed. In fact, I can use it, do this. Itachi's eyes widened as he suddenly found himself standing in the middle of a road with moonlight shining down on him. He knew the street all too well. It was the main street of the Uchiha compound on the night of the massacre. He could sense it as Sasuke appeared out of the darkness of the night. Why have you brought us into my mind? Asked Itachi as he saw the memory version of himself going the attack on his clan. I want to know why you did it, stated Sasuke. I told you power, said Itachi calmly. No, you wouldn't be resisting my Sharingan if you just wanted power. There is something else, you're hiding something deeper, said Sasuke as he pushed deeper into Itachi's memories as he chased after a younger Sasuke. You will not like what you find, Sasuke, said Itachi as he fought back harder than ever before, but he couldn't last for long. Back in the real world, Kisame ran across the water as he ran though hand signs. Water style 5 feeding sharks, yelled Kisame as he quickly placed his hand on the water as 5 water chakra sharks formed under the water. The sharks quickly went toward Suigetsu. The 4 sharks jumped out of the water to kill Suigetsu. He just rolled his eyes as he whipped his sword around, cutting the water sharks in half. However, just as he finished, the last shark came up and ate Suigetsu before diving back underwater. All too easy, stated Kisame as he looked at the calm water. Suddenly the flat water broke apart as a large dark blue shark with teeth the size of a full-grown man flew out of the water with Suigetsu on his nose. For me, yelled Suigetsu, now Kisame meet a demon shark. Back in the leaf, the Council of the Hidden Leaf was called to order with the hitting of a gavel by the head of the council Haishir Hyuga as he stood at a podium in the center of a half-circle with 10 spaces in it. One for each of the 9 council-level clans and one for the Hokage whenever she decided to show. Carved into the wood in front of each clan's position was their symbol, and behind their chairs was their clan flag. All around the circle room were the flags of the clans with a huge leaf flag on either side of the main door. This meeting of the Council of the Hidden Leaf will be called to order, said Haishir. We will begin with roll call, Aburame clan. Here, said Shino's father Shibi Aburame as Shino stood behind him. It was traditional to bring a second member of the clan, most often the next one in line for the clan's seat, to any council meeting. Akimichi clan, stated Haishir. Choza Akimichi for the Akimichi clan, said Choji's father as Choji himself stood there with his arms crossed. Haishir Hyuga for the Hyuga clan, said Haishir as he moved down to the next name, Inazuka clan. Tsum here, said Tsum as her son Kiba stood behind her with his arms crossed. Nara clan, said Haishir. Shikaku for the Nara clan, said Shikamaru's father as Shikamaru stood behind him by the Nara flag. Haishir skipped the Namikaze clan even though he had seen Naruto outside the door with the Hokage. Sarutobi clan, asked Haishir as he looked at Asuma, who had an unlighted cigarette in his mouth. I am here, said Asuma as Haishir glared at him. Asuma was never the one for council processors. Neither was the young man behind him, Konohamaru. Haishir skipped the Uchiha clan before moving to the last clan. Yamanaka clan, said Haishir. Inoichi here for the Yamanaka clan, said Inoichi as Ino stood behind him along with her younger male cousin. Since Ino was a girl when she got married, she wouldn't be a member of the clan anymore, as such her cousin was there too. Since all the clans are here, I give the floor to the Hokage, said Haishir as he walked to his clan spot with an elder standing behind him. Thank you all for coming, said Tsunade as she stood in the center of the room with the council members around her. I have called this meeting to discuss an up-and-coming ninja that needs to be recognized for what he has done for the village. Let me guess, the demon child, said Tsum as she glared at the Hokage. Correct, said Tsunade. I will not share this room with a demon, yelled Tsum. Those Inazuka dogs are dogs, but they are useful, thought Haishir with a grin. What do you mean share the room? Asked Asuma. Turns out the Naruto isn't an Uzumaki, he is a Namikaze, said Tsunade as everyone's eyes widened. He is the son of the Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage of the Hidden Leaf. Back inside Itachi's mind, a very pissed off Sasuke stood before Itachi. Over the past hour in his world, which was really only a few seconds in the real world, Sasuke had seen Itachi crying as he knocked his brother out before meeting up with a man he called Madara Uchiha, who had the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, as part of our deal, you will join the Akatsuki, said Madara. Correct, said Itachi. You need this, said Madara as he gave Itachi a map. The next memory of Itachi was of him standing in the woods with the 3rd Hokage standing there along with wrapping around the top of his head and one of his eyes. It is done, aid Itachi. You have done well tonight, Itachi. Not only have you removed a clan who was about to rebel against the village, said the wrapped man. Danzo, I don't care right now, I just killed almost everyone I loved, snapped Itachi. Almost my entire clan is gone. Almost? Asked Danzo. My little brother, he had nothing to do with the coup on the village, stated the memory version of Itachi. Then we will finish it, said Danzo. No, you will not, for if you do I will come back and kill you, said Itachi. Sasuke will not be harmed, said the 3rd Hokage. Thank you, said Itachi as he took off his headband before cutting a mark through the symbol. With that, everything went black, leaving only Sasuke and Itachi standing there. What is this? Yelled Sasuke. I told you didn't want to find the truth, said Itachi calmly. The truth is that it was all a mission. Snapped Sasuke as rage built up to levels he had never been before. I will destroy the Leaf Village and Madara Uchiha for this. It isn't the Leaf's fault, the Uchiha clan was going to rebel and kill their fellow villagers, stated Itachi. Like I care, yelled Sasuke as he broke his Sharingan eye and they returned to the real world. I will destroy the Leaf. I am sorry Sasuke, but I can't let you do that, said Itachi as he closed one of his eyes. Sasuke was so close that there was no room to get out of the way. Amaterasu. Sasuke didn't even try to move as black flames swallowed him up. Sasuke, yelled Karen as she backed up from the heat of the flames that would burn everything it touched. I am sorry Sasuke, said Itachi as he looked into the flames. No you will be, hissed Sasuke as Itachi's eyes widened. There standing in the flames was Sasuke, but he was completely different. What the? Asked Itachi, stunned at what his little brother had become. They tell me it's called Sage Mode, hissed Sasuke as he moved out of the flames before returning to normal. Now prepare to die. What? Asked Inoichi as he, like almost everyone else in the council room, were taken back by the news. Naruto is the son of the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze, said Tsunade again. That makes him the last of the Namikaze clan. Do you have evidence? Asked Shibi Aburame. Yes, we do, said Naruto as he walked into the room. I will not stand here while a demon is in this hall, snapped Tsum as she stood up. Sit down, ordered Naruto. You can't order me around, demon, snapped Tsum. Please, you were there that night, you knew the truth for days, said Naruto before looking at Haishur. So did you. What are you talking about, Naruto? Asked Asuma. You know about the Death God summoning pack I have? Asked Naruto as Asuma and others nodded. I used it to call out the fourth Hokage so that I could kill him again for sealing the Kyuubi in me. The council members' eyes widened at the news. However, I learned the truth and spent the rest of the time I had bought talking with him, said Naruto. If you don't believe what I have said, take a look at these. With that, Naruto pulled a scroll from his coat and handed them to Haishur with a grin. This is a letter left by my father on the day he died, said Naruto as Haishur snapped the scroll out of his hands. This could be a fake, said Haishur. Well, you were there, but since you don't want to believe the truth, look at the seal, said Naruto as Haishur looked at the scroll. There it was, the seal of the fourth Hokage, including the date it was signed almost 17 years ago. Also, said Tsunade as she pulled scrolls of her own, this is Minato's marriage certificate to one Kushina Uzumaki, as well as Naruto's birth record. To top it all off, here is the results of a DNA test of Naruto and Minato, that proves that they are father and son. The council gathered around the records as Shikaku Nara looked at the records. His clan was known for keeping most of the records of the Hidden Leaf, as such he knew how to spot fake seals with ease. They are real, said Shikaku as he looked at Naruto closely. He even looks like the fourth Hokage, and that is on top of what I saw the other night. You knew too? Asked Inoichi as Shikaku nodded his head. Even if he is the son of the fourth, he is too young to take the council seat, stated Haishur, knowing that he likely lost the battle to deny that Naruto was the son of the fourth. That isn't entirely true, said Tsunade with grin. Meanwhile, Kisame jumped across the water, a stump that used to be an arm bleed into the water. Suigetsu's demon shark had gotten one of his arms in his teeth. However, Kisame still had his sword, but the shark was on his tail. Where are you going to run to, Kisame? Laughed Suigetsu as they chased. Sharks hunt by the smell of blood. Kisame jumped onto the land hoping that would stop the shark, but it didn't. The giant shark simply started to float in the air. Crap, said Kisame as he started running again. However, he found he couldn't move his legs. The sand under him was now sand-colored snakes that wrapped up his legs, holding him in place. He went to cut himself free only to have the snakes jump up and bite his arms, holding him down. Karen, yelled Suigetsu as he jumped off his shark as it disappeared in a large puff of smoke. This is my fight. We need to get going, stated Karen. I can sense some strong ninjas coming, likely a leaf portal. Fine, said Suigetsu as he held his blade up to Kisame's neck. I told you I would have your sword. Samahata is loyal to me, snapped Kisame. That is the thing about chakra-sensing swords, said Suigetsu as he took the sword and nothing happened. If they find someone better they turn on you. You will never be a true swordsman, said Kisame. I disagree, said Suigetsu as he moved his sword across Kisame's neck, letting the blood flow like water down Kisame's neck. Back in the council room, blood was boiling, namely Haisher Hyuga's blood. What? Yelled Haisher as he slammed his fist into the table. You want to make him a Jonin? Yes, answered Tsunade. You can't do that, he is recorded as dead, yelled Haisher. No, he isn't. The moment he came back to the village he was reclassified as alive, given his rank back. Explained Tsunade as Haisher bit his tongue. It wasn't unheard of for a ninja who went on a dangerous mission and died to get his rank restored if it turns out he was captured or hiding from enemy ninjas and took longer to return. He is still a genin, said Choza, and even if he is the son of the fourth Hokage I don't trust him. Father, said a surprised Choji. Choji, stay out of this, ordered Choza in a commanding voice. Any kid would know coming from a parent. Besides, even if we wanted to, and that is a big if, there are no laws on the books allowing us to turn a genin into a Jonin. He needs to go though the exams, said Inoichi. That would be a waste of time, said Shikaku Nara as Inoichi looked at him. He would beat everyone senseless with easy. Still it would stop him from taking the seat, said Choza. Did you forget that he would get that right in 6 months anyhow when he turned 17? Asked Shikaku as Choza blinked. It's Jonin statues or be 17 years old to have a council seat. What law allows us to do this? Asked Inoichi. It is said that if a ninja has proven himself or herself in combat then the council may promote them with a simple majority, said Tsunade, and Naruto has taken down 3 S-ranked members of the Akatsuki by himself. And you want us to vote letting him jump 2 ranks to become a Jonin? Asked Haisher. Yes, and I call for a vote now, said Tsunade, hoping that Naruto would get the rank and become a member of the council. Fine, said Haisher. Aburame clan, do you want Naruto, Namikaze, to become a Jonin? Yes, said Shibi as Haishi's eyes widened as he waited for a reason that would never come. Akimichi? Asked Haisher. No, said Choza as he crossed his arms, I don't even want this Kyubi spawn in our village. The Kyubi killed too many people and I will never forgive him for that. Haisher smiled. Those fat sons of bitches had finally done something right. The Hyuga clan votes no, said Haisher. Hell no, yelled Tsum Inazuka, not even waiting for Haisher to call her clan name. 3 I got 3 votes, 1 more and I win. Thought Haisher, I may have never been able to defeat Minato but I will stop his son. Naruto will forever be a genin. It is time for the Namikaze clan to return, said Shikaku. Naruto deserves to be a Jonin, said Asuma with a thumbs up. 3-3 it all comes down to Inoichi of the Yamanaka clan, thought Haisher before smiling. They normally side with the Akimichi clan, so I win. Yes, said Inoichi as Haishi's eyes widened. What, how could you do this? Yelled Haisher. You normally side with the Akimichi clan. Yes. Normally, but by law Naruto has proven himself to be worthy of the rank of Jonin, said Inoichi, and my clan always follows the laws of the Leaf Village. Meanwhile Itachi ran across the sand throwing kunais at Sasuke, however Sasuke dodged him with easy. Does it feel good, Itachi? Asked Sasuke. Does it feel good to be on the run, to be up against someone you can't beat? Fire-style giant fireball Justu, yelled Itachi as he breathed a giant fireball at Sasuke. Sasuke smiled before running though the same hand signs. Fire-style giant fireball Justu, yelled Sasuke as a fireball 5 times the size of Itachi's came out. It quickly swallowed up Itachi's fireball and headed toward Itachi. Itachi moved out of the way preparing to throw paper-bombed kunais at his brother. However, before he could throw the kunai, Sasuke appeared in front of him and grabbed him by the neck. Itachi tried to breath but he couldn't as he tried to pull Sasuke off him but he couldn't do it. Sasuke's demon chakra engulfed his body, stopping him from molding and burning his skin at the same time. Look at me while I kill you, yelled Sasuke like a madman as his Sharingan eye spun so fast that Itachi couldn't even keep up. Itachi looked into his brother's eyes as he moved his lips trying to speak. However, since he couldn't breathe, he couldn't speak, but Sasuke's Sharingan could read his lips. "I love you, little brother," said Itachi as Sasuke violently snapped Itachi's neck, killing him. The moment Sasuke knew his brother was dead, his demon chakra jumped to their max as the demon chakra began ripping Itachi's dead body apart. Across the world, Naruto suddenly stopped in mid-sentence as he looked toward the wall of the council room. "Naruto, what is it?" asked Tsunade as she looked at the Leaf's newest Jonin. "Nothing," said Naruto as the Churka spike faded. "Welcome to the council, Naruto," said Asuma with a smile as Naruto walked toward the Namikaze clan chair, which by luck was right next to the Hyuga clan and across from the Nara clan. "You need to pick a second, someone who can speak for you in case you are out of town," said Haishur. "I already have," said Naruto as suddenly a gust of wind filled the room as a white fox with 3 tails appeared behind him. "This is Katara, daughter of the House of Wind of the Demon Fox Village." "No, I will not stand for the spawn of the Kyuubi in this room," yelled Haishur. "I am not the spawn of the Kyuubi," said Katara with a laugh. "That would be weird, being that I am going to be mated with his son. I believe that the roles say that I can pick whoever I want to stand behind me," stated Naruto. He had his shadow clones read up council law. "Consider yourself lucky that I didn't pick Saito, he would kill people on the spot." "I thought you would pick Sakura," said Asuma as he looked at Naruto. "I heard that you two were a couple." "I thought about it, but Sakura-chan and I would likely be on missions together and that means she wouldn't be here," explained Naruto. "Katara can teleport back here if needed." "I understand," said Asuma. "Now since there is no other business and I have other places to be," said Haishur, "I call this meeting to a close." No sooner had the meeting been called to a close than Choza, Haishur and Tsum storm out the room, taking their children/elder with them. Inoichi at least shook Naruto's hand before he too left the room with his nephew, leaving Ino behind. "So Naruto, you're now a Jonin and a council-level clan?" asked Ino, already knowing the answer. "Yes," said Naruto. "And you have an entire compound to yourself?" asked Ino. "You're not thinking?" asked Naruto. "Come on Naruto, let Sakura and me plan a real party for you," asked Ino. "I am not a partier," said Naruto. "Come on Naruto, I know Sakura would like it, and last time you just sat there giving yes or no answers," said Ino. "Also Gaara and his siblings are coming in tomorrow for the start of the Chunin exams," said Shikamaru. "It would be nice to see Gaara again when I am not saving him," said Naruto. "Fine. Thank you," said Ino. "Sakura and I will arrange everything." The now Jonin Naruto stood in the doorway of his parents' room. He had been in the house for 2 nights now, and during those 2 nights he had slept on the couch. He already had the refrigerator replaced and Sakura had gone out to get food. Sakura had to go because the shop owners still wouldn't sell to him. "I can't keep thinking about how my life could have been," said Naruto out loud as he walked into his parents' room. He headed toward the closet. It was a good place to start. He opened it up to find his father's Hokage's robe on the back of one door, still clean and waiting to be put on. Just looking at those robes caused Naruto to daydream. Naruto's daydream. "Look at me, daddy," said a young 12-year-old Naruto as he wore the robes that were far too big for him. Even the hat refused to stay up. "I think that is a little too big for you, son," said Minato with a smile as he took the hat off his son's head. "But just you wait, someday you will be." "Do you think so, Dad?" asked the young Naruto. "I know so," said Minato as he helped Naruto out of the robes. "But for now just be a kid." "Supper," yelled Kushina's voice from down the hall as the smell of freshly cooked food filled the air. End of daydream. Naruto left the Hokage robes where it was and started to pack away his father's things, mostly cloths and shoes. He was about halfway done when he heard the front door opened. He knew it was Sakura just from the smell of her shampoo and the way she walked. "So Sakura, what are you and Ino planning?" asked Naruto as he looked toward the door to see Sakura standing there, with bags of food in her hands. "Ino is coming by soon to plan it out," said Sakura. "Thanks for getting the food. The Hyuga and the Akimichi clan own most of the food stores in the village," said Naruto. "And they hate you," said Sakura. "Yeah," said Naruto. Do you have any idea why? Asked Sakura. It's something that has to do with clan hate and competition. The Hyuga, Uchiha and Namikaze clans had a three-way fight for control of the council. The other clans sided with one of each clan, explained Naruto. And the Hyuga clan thought they won when the Uchiha and your clan was gone? Asked Sakura. Yeah, and now one of us is back, said Naruto as he went on cleaning. So you are going to move into the room? Asked Sakura. It is the master bedroom in the head of the clan house and I am the only one of my clan, so yeah, said Naruto as he put another one of his father's shirts into a box. Sakura, can you do another thing for me? Sure, said Sakura. Can you go through my mother's personal woman stuff? Asked Naruto with a slight blush as he looked toward the other closet. Okay, I can understand Naruto not wanting to go, though his mother's underwear, that would be weird for anyone, even me, thought Sakura. Sure, it isn't something a son wants to do, said Sakura as she took a box and headed toward the other closet. Meanwhile in the demon world, Sasuke and Karin stood before Seamus and Bilal. You have done well, Sasuke, hissed Seamus. I killed him only to gain another person to kill, said Sasuke, the man who helped my brother kill my clan Madara Uchiha. You may kill him after you kill the Kyuubi student, said Seamus. Works for me. Naruto is in the leaf, right? Asked Sasuke. Yes, said Bilal, he hasn't left the confines of the hidden leaves in a few days. Good, I will destroy the leaf village when I kill Naruto, said Sasuke. The leaf village means nothing to us, do with it as you wish, said Seamus. Then I will leave right now, ordered Sasuke. No, said Seamus, it isn't ready yet. What isn't ready yet? Asked Karin. A gift that will help you to bring the Naruto to his knees, said Bilal. I need no help, snapped Sasuke. This will not help you per se, but it will protect you, said Seamus. Protect us? Asked Karin. Naruto has weapons made of demon steel and that can cut though almost anything that isn't demon steel, said Seamus. We don't want you two to lose because of some lucky blow. More you giving us armor, stated Sasuke. Yes, a very special armor, said Bilal, armor made out of demon snake scales. They are lighter even than demon steel, just as strong and something the foxes could only dream having. It just takes time to create. How long? Asked Sasuke. 2 days, said Bilal, this will give you time to rest and prepare for attack. Come on Sasuke-kun, we can take a little break, said Karin with a slight grin as Sasuke rolled his eyes. Back in the leaf, Sakura was cleaning out a drawer of cloths that belonged to Naruto's mother. It felt strange to go through another person's personal effects, but she knew she would have done better than Naruto. Some of this stuff looks very good, thought Sakura as she packed another set away. However, then she found a small side drawer. In the drawer was some very lacy, almost see those sets of orange lingerie. The stuff that woman only used on weddings night and when they wanted to play. Okay, Naruto-kun would pass out from grossness if he found this, thought Sakura as she quickly started to seal the stuff away. Anyone child would if they found that of their parents, said inner Sakura. I would if I found what my mom's stuff, thought Sakura as she felt something under set of lingerie. Kinky, said inner Sakura as Sakura looked at what she found. It was a pair of orange fuzzy handcuffs and what looked like a blindfold. We could use those on Naruto-kun later. For a moment Sakura thought about taking them before putting them in the box. No, said Sakura. You're right, it would be weird to use them, said inner Sakura, besides orange wouldn't go well with us, red works better. Pervert, said Sakura back as the doorbell rang. That must be Ino, said Sakura as she closed the lid on the box so that Naruto wouldn't see what she found. Go, I'll handle things here, said Naruto as Sakura walked out of the room. She quickly opened the door to see Ino standing there. Well, forehead, have you moved in already? Asked Ino as she looked at her best friend. No, I am only helping Naruto-kun out, said Sakura. So you and Naruto are really a thing, said Ino. Is that a problem? Asked Sakura as she crossed her arms and glared Ino. No, you guys would look good together, said Ino as Sakura smiled. But not as good as you and Sasuke will be like, asked Sakura as Ino stopped in her place. Unknown to Sakura, Ino's blood turned to ice as she remembered Sasuke's eyes. She was thinking about telling her but changed her mind. The Hokage had ordered her not to talk. "No, I don't think I am that interested in Sasuke anymore," said Ino as the girls walked toward the backyard. "Really?" asked Sakura, stunned to hear that. "You found someone else?" "No," said Ino sadly. "What about Shikamaru?" asked Sakura as Ino cringed at the idea. "Are you kidding?" asked Ino. "First, he is like a brother to me, second, he has a hard-on for Temari and she likes him." "That would be a scary relationship," said Sakura with a she thought about what those two would be like together. "Yeah," said Ino, "you will never guess what I heard someone saw last night." "Listen, Piggy, I don't want to know about something the queen of gossip heard from someone who heard it from someone else who may or may not have heard it from someone else," said Sakura. "Well, to bad forehead," said Ino. "Turns out that Niji and Tenten were spotted having dinner together." "So?" asked Sakura. "They are teammates. They were at one of the best restaurants in the Leaf," said Ino. "Most people would call that a date." "If that is true, good for them," said Sakura as Ino spotted the Namikaze clan swimming pool. "This is perfect, we fill this up and then we can have a real party," said Ino, "and I have a new bikini I have been dying to try on." "Are you going to get this one wet?" asked Sakura, "or are you just going to sit out in the sun and never go into the water?" "Does that matter?" asked Ino. "It's a swimsuit, it is supposed to get wet," stated Sakura. "Finally, then don't let Naruto see you in a bikini?" asked Ino. "That would be a good way to get Naruto's attention," said a new voice as Katara appeared. "It got Naruto's attention when you followed my advice and dressed sexy." "Ah, so you're trying to seduce Naruto?" asked Ino with a small laugh. "It didn't work. It got Naruto body, not his heart. I want both and I think I have them both at the moment," said Sakura. "I am not going to reunion it by dressing like a slut." "Sakura, did you forget what Naruto said about dressing like that?" said Katara. Flashback. "I am not saying never to dress like that because it makes you looks very, very good," said Naruto with a grin. End flashback. Naruto-kun was more upset that I dressed like that when we were going to train. "But a pool party is a different story altogether," said inner Sakura. "There we are supposed to put on a show." On the outside, Sakura grinned as she began to form her plan. Meanwhile, Ino quickly found the water system as new water started to fill the pool at a surprisingly fast speed. She also noticed the heating controls. "Looks like we may be able to have a nighttime pool party tomorrow," said Ino as began to lay out her plan. Later that night, Naruto stood there just looking at the room. He had cleaned out almost everything from the room. Only the furniture and a few photos remained. He had put away his things, but still the room looked empty. "Could use a vixen's touch," said Saito as he appeared beside Naruto. "I thought you hated needing a vixen?" asked Naruto. "I do, but they have their uses and decorating a room is one of them," said Saito as Naruto shook his head. "Saito, sometime you will have to face the truth. Vixens are needed," said Naruto, "and when you love one of them you just want to be with them." "I disagree with you because Katara has driven me crazy for years," said Saito. "They are supposed to," said Naruto as he remembered all his time with Sakura and the kiss they had, "but somehow you love them for it anyhow." "Whatever," said Saito, "I'll take one of the side rooms if you don't mind." "No," said Naruto as he headed toward his new room. He lay under the new cover and looked at the photo that Sakura had given him, the slightly burned photo of his team all gathered together. His eyes locked on the image of him and Sakura as he reached toward the light switch located by the bed, turning it off. The next morning, just after sunrise, a large team of sand ninjas arrived. Standing at the gate waiting for them was Shikamaru Nara. "Well, hello little boy," said Temari as she walked up to him. "Hello troublesome woman," said Shikamaru with a slight smile as the two genius ninjas traded verbal blows like they normally did. "So why are you here so early?" asked Temari. "You hate waking up early." "A few things actually," said Shikamaru. "Well, first to tell you that Naruto is back in the Leaf." Gaara's head instantly snapped at that news. We will have to see him, ordered Gaara. You can do that later today. Ino has informed me that Naruto is letting her throw a real welcome home/new home/promotion pool party today. How can Naruto have a pool? I thought he was poor, said Kankura. Turns out that Naruto Uzumaki is really Naruto Namikaze, said Shikamaru as Temari's eyes widened. Namikaze? Asked Temari as Shikamaru nodded his head. Who are the Namikaze? Asked Kankura. They are one of the founding clans of the Leaf Village, with their most famous member being Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of Koona, said Shikamaru, our fourth Hokage. Naruto is related to the fourth Hokage? Asked Kankura. Father and son, explained Shikamaru as the sand ninja's eyes became as wide as dinner plates. Only Gaara's eyes remained relatively the same, and as the last of the Namikaze he has an entire compound including a pool. I see, said Temari as her mind went into overdrive processing the new information. And who is all coming to this party? Ino just ordered me to ask you all, so I am not totally for sure who, but more than likely just Naruto's closest friends, said Shikamaru. So are you three going to be there? Well, the Chunin exams don't start till the day after tomorrow, so we can take the night off, can't we? Asked Kankura as he looked at his longer brother and Kage. We can, said Gaara. This is going to be troublesome. All of us and the Sand siblings at a pool party together, thought Shikamaru until he looked at Temari. However, seeing Temari in a swimsuit is worth all the trouble. Sakura Haruno was tossing some things into a small bag. Most important of the items in her bag was her brand new swimming suit. However, she did pack some extra cloths just in case the weather turned bad, but judging from the bright summer sun that wasn't going to happen. So a pool party? Asked Rin as she appeared in the doorway. Yeah, said Sakura back as she zipped up her bag. Have fun, said Rin. I will, said Sakura, don't worry, I'll be back by midnight. Don't worry about it, Sakura, said Rin, just remember about the not becoming a grandma thing. Will do, Mom, said Sakura as she headed out the door. I don't want to be a grandma for a little while at least, said Rin with a slight grin. Sakura arrived at the Namikaze clan compound just as Ino and Choji walked up. So forehead, you ready for this? Asked Ino. Yeah, I just hope Naruto-kun didn't do anything to the setup, said Sakura. He really didn't like the last party. Well, let's go see, said Ino as they started down a side path that leads to the pool area. Where is Shikamaru? Asked Sakura. He is coming with the Sand siblings, answered Choji, and I am not really here. Your whole clan versus Naruto's clan, right? Asked Sakura. Yeah, my dad thinks that I am out training right now, said Choji. Are the others going to make it? Asked Sakura. All but Hinata, Kiba, and Shino, said Ino. They had something else planned, they never said what. I see, Hinata is still not over it, said Sakura. Over what? Asked Ino. Turns out Naruto's father's sister is Hinata's mother, said Sakura's as Ino's and Choji's eyes widened. So they're cousins? Asked Choji. Yep, said Sakura, imagine how Hinata feels. Yeah, a crush on your cousin, that is sick, said Ino. At that same moment Hinata felt like throwing up, but it wasn't because of her crush on her cousin, it was because of where she was right now. She was underground in the oldest part of the Hyuga compound. All around her were old markings in the codes of the ancient Hyuga clan. There was also a large stone altar in the center of the dimly light room. Sit down, ordered her father as he pushed her toward the altar. Hinata lowered her head as tears rolled down her face. Stop crying, ordered Haishir as Hinata sat down on the stone altar before looking around the room. All around her were the head people of the main house dressed in white robes. Hinata couldn't stop crying as one of the members walked up and raised her hairline to expose more of her forehead. Tears rolled down her face as she felt the coldness of liquid on it. She knew what they were doing. They were using the sealing paint to paint on the bird cage seal before chakra sealing it. Cannonball, yelled Choji as he jumped into the water with his shirt. The water splashed up, soaking Ino. Choji, yelled Ino as Choji's head surfaced. What? Asked Choji. You got me wet, yelled Ino as she looked at herself. her cloths were so wet you could see her swimming suit under it clear as day. "It's a pool party, Ino," said Naruto as he appeared. Like Choji, Naruto was dressed in his swimsuit with a t-shirt over, however unlike Choji, who was dressed in a baggy white shirt with brownish-red swim trunks. Naruto had on a thin black sleeveless shirt with black swim trunks with an orange strip running down each leg. "Yeah, at least you have no excuses to get wet now, Ino," said Shikamaru as he along with the Sand siblings walked up. Of the Sand siblings, the only one who looked like she had come to a party was Temari. Kankuro and Gaara were dressed in their normal outfits while Temari had on a yellow bikini top with shorts. "I never understood why someone would sunbath," asked Temari as she found a spot and took off her shorts and gracefully dove into the water. "The water is better than the sun." "Well, that is because you come from a desert," said Ino. "Ino, let's just go change," said Sakura as she led Ino toward a small side building that was the restroom/changing rooms. Meanwhile, Hinata was crying as she lied down on the stone altar. The moment she did, the elders started channeling chakra into the altar. Her tears increased as her forehead started to burn as the seals started to form. "No!" cried Hinata in pain as she tried to jump off the altar only to notice that her hands were bound with chakra. Upstairs in the main Hyuga clan household, Kiba, Shino, and their original sensei Kurenai Yuhi sat listening to the screams coming from somewhere down below in the catacombs of the Hyuga clan. "I can't take," yelled Kiba, "this. How can we sit here and let them do this to Hinata?" "We have no choice," stated Shino, "it is their clan's tradition, and even if we wanted to stop it, how could we?" "We would find a way," yelled Kiba as he looked at the room full of Hyuga ninjas all keeping an eye on their guests. "Kiba, Hinata will need us when this is done," said Kurenai as she looked at Kiba with her red eyes. Meanwhile, back at the party, Naruto looked at the food which was currently cooking on a grill. He and Gaara had been talking while Shikamaru had joined Temari in the pool and they remained close. Choji was goofing off with Lee, who had arrived with Niji and Tenten only minutes after Ino and Sakura went to change. Niji and Tenten were talking to themselves. "So you're a Namikaze?" asked Kankuro. "Yes," said Naruto as he drank some of his water. "Is that a problem?" "No, it is just a surprise," said Kankuro. "Naruto," said Gaara as Kankuro shut up. He always shut up whenever Gaara started taking. "I never said thank you for bringing me back." "No problem, Gaara," said Naruto. Sakura was currently looking at herself in a mirror making sure everything was perfect. "Come on, forehead, you look great," said Ino as she stood beside her best friend. "It's just, I want to look perfect," said Sakura as she adjusted her suit. "Believe me, you look great, and I wouldn't be surprised if Naruto drops dead when he sees you," said Ino as she adjusted her purple suit. It was purple material wrapped around her neck in a collar before two strands of front moved down, crossing over each other once before wrapping around her breast and running up her back. "No, come on, let's go," said Ino as she led Sakura toward the door. As Sakura prepared to stun Naruto, Hinata was walked out of the Hyuga catacombs and into the main house with tears in her eyes as her forehead burned with the pain from the seal. "Hinata, are you alright?" yelled Kiba as he ran up to Hinata, who broke down and cried into his arms. "She will be fine," said Haishir coldly as Kiba glared at him. "She will only going to where she belongs, into the weaker house." "You monster," said Kiba as he showed his teeth. "Don't show your teeth to me, dog," snapped Haishir before looking at a Hyuga clan ninja. "Make sure Hinata's things are out of her room and into the branch house by nightfall." "You're not even letting her stay with her family?" asked Kurenai. "She isn't a member of this house anymore," stated Haishir. "She belongs to the lower house." "Sir, we have a meeting request," said a Hyuga aide as Haishir looked at him. "From whom?" asked Haishir. "Some Inuzuka," stated the aide. "Mom," thought Kiba, "why does she want a meeting with Haishir?" However, his mind turned to Hinata, who was crying so hard that she couldn't see who was holding her. Back at the party, Naruto had stopped what he was doing and was just looking at Sakura. Sakura had on a red bikini that hugged her side and brought out the color of her eyes and hair. It was simple, but it brought out her features. The thin red strings held her breast up, which were covered with red material, as golden links held the two pieces in the center together. Her toned female stomach was on full display, as her private area was covered with a red bottom with thin, almost invisible strings holding it up. "Looks like you have him, Sakura," whispered Ino as Sakura grinned before walking down a small ladder into the water. Naruto couldn't help himself from watching as Sakura swam up to him before pulling herself up a bit. Naruto was blushing like a madman as he watched the water roll off Sakura's body, which to him looked like it should belong to a goddess. "Naruto-kun care for a swim?" asked Sakura with a grin. "Naruto, we can look after the food," said Kankuro with a wink as Naruto took the opening and quickly took off his shirt. "My good, take a look at that," thought Sakura as she saw Naruto shirtless for the first real time. Naruto looked like someone had sculpted the perfect man out of clay. He was muscle but not so much to remove flexibility. Just looking at his six-pack stomach was turning her on. "Forget the swim. Go and fuck him," said inner Sakura as Naruto joined Sakura in the water. "Not so fast, as much as I would love it, let's start with a swim," said Sakura back as the two of them started to swim together. "Take a look at Naruto," said Ino as she talked with Tenten and Niji. "Yeah, he has a tattoo," said Tenten as Ino looked at her. "You're kidding, right? You are looking at what may be the hottest man in the village and the first thing you notice is a tattoo?" asked Ino as she sipped her drink. "Something is wrong with you. Or it could be that I already have a man," said Tenten with a smile as she looked at Niji, who had gone and talked with Gaara. "Maybe," said Ino as she looked at Pool. "Where is Choji?" "Here," said Choji as she grabbed Ino from behind. "What are you doing?" yelled Ino as Choji picked her up and started to push her toward the water. "Getting you to actually get into the water," said Choji as he pushed Ino into the water. A second later, a very pissed off Ino surfaced and glared at a laughing Choji. "Sorry Ino, but it had to be done," laughed Choji as he held a hand out to help Ino out of the water. "Choji," said Shikamaru as he looked at best friend who was sitting on a small table eating. "Yeah," said Choji. "You're an idiot," finished Tamari with a grin as Ino grabbed Choji's arm and pulled him into the water, as everyone minus Gaara broke out laughing. Back at the Hyuga compound, Haishi's day wasn't done yet. He entered a side room which was designed to have private talks between the Hyuga clan and their allies. At the moment, Tsum Inazuka, leader of the Inazuka clan, one of their closest allies, and about 2 members of the Inazuka clan's own council sat waiting. "What can I do for you, Tsum?" asked Haisher as the two of them sat across from each other. 2 members of the Hyuga council joined Haisher for the meeting. "I wish to talk about your daughter Hinata," said Tsum. "If you came to stop us from placing the bird cage seal on her, then you are too late," said Haisher. No. "I know not to mess with your own clan's business," said Tsum. "Then why are you asking about Hinata?" asked Haisher. "I don't know if you knew this, but my son is quick taken by Hinata," said Tsum with a grin. "Ah, you want to arrange a marriage," said Haisher. "Yes," said Tsum. "Well, you know the traditions of our clan is not to talk about arranged marriage until the 17th birthday, said Haisher, and Hinata doesn't turn 17 till December. Well, we were kind of hoping that you would bend that rule a bit and let us handle with Hinata after the sealing, said Tsum. "She will be well taken care of and we will help her though the pain, this would stop Kiba from bugging you." Said Haisher as he thought, this would get Hinata out of my way and keep an allies happy. "What do you say, Haisher?" asked Tsum. "While I personally agree, in order to break tradition I must make the case to the council," said Haisher. "However, I will push for the breaking of this small rule for a dear friend." "Thank you," said Tsum as she stood up. "We await for your answer." Sakura didn't even know how long they had been in the pool, but sometime they had moved into Naruto's house, for more food and cards. Soon one by one everyone started leveling and now Naruto and Sakura were alone. They had both changed out of their swimsuits into more regular cloths. The sun had gone down a long time ago and Sakura was feeling the effects of the long day. She sat beside Naruto with her head resting on his shoulder. "Sakura-chan, shouldn't you be heading home?" asked a tried Naruto. "No, I'll stay a little bit longer, yawned Sakura as she closed her eyes and fell asleep. Naruto quickly followed her. The moment the two of them fell asleep, Katara and Saito appeared in the room. "This makes me sick," said Saito as he looked at Naruto and Sakura. "Hey, come on Saito, even you have to admit this is cute," said Katara. "I don't have to admit anything," snapped Saito. "Fine then, don't help me," said Katara as she used her wind chakra to gently lift the sleeping Naruto and Sakura up. "What are you doing?" asked Saito. "Sleeping on like that isn't that conformable," explained Katara as she guided Naruto and Sakura to Naruto's bedroom, removing their shoes in mid-air. "So you're moving them to his bed?" asked Saito, "so that they can wake up together." "Ah, that wouldn't be fun for me," said Katara as Saito noticed that Naruto's pants and Sakura's shirt/skirt was coming off. Saito rolled his eyes as Naruto, who was now dressed only in his boxers and his thin black shirt, and Sakura in her bra and a bikini. "You're a pervert," said Saito as Katara lied Naruto and Sakura down on the bed. Instantly the two moved closer together as the covers were. "I could have removed all their cloths," said Katara as Saito disappeared. "Just wait until I get my tails on you, then you will see how perverted I can be." With that, Katara disappeared as well, leaving Naruto and Sakura to sleep in each other's arms. Sunlight was pouring through one of the open windows and hitting Naruto Namikaze in the face. The sunlight caused Naruto to wake up a bit, and the first thing he noticed was the smell. It smelled like strawberries. "Strawberries," thought Naruto as he woke up a little bit more, only to feel a pressure on his body as he felt hot breath on the back side of his neck. Naruto finally opened his eyes only to see Sakura sleeping beside him. Sakura was on her side with her arm on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto could feel that his arm had snaked around Sakura's body and had found a home on her hip. "Oh my god, did I sleep with Sakura-chan?" thought Naruto, worried that they had done it last night as he sniffed the air again. "No, I don't smell any after smell of sex. I guess we just fell asleep together." "Naruto-kun," said Sakura in her sleep as she moved closer to Naruto, burying her face into his chest looking for warmth. Naruto couldn't help but smile as he looked at the sleeping Sakura. "I love you, Sakura-chan," said Naruto as he lowered his head and fell back asleep with his forehead resting just above Sakura's head. Meanwhile, in the demon world, Sasuke smiled as he looked at what was before him. "It's finished," said Bilal as Sasuke touched his new armor. "It is perfect," said Sasuke as he ran his hand across the armor. It was red breastplate with inlays of black. Along the shoulders were black articulated plates that would allow free movement. It had 2 hip protects with a pointed groin protector and back protector. It had garters for the front and back of the legs. "Yes, it will protect you from almost anything and yet allow you to entire Sage mode with easy," said Bilal. "How can it do that?" asked Sasuke as Bilal grinned. "Simple. While this is as strong as demon steel, it expands and contracts with just a little bit of chakra," said Bilal as he placed his tail on the breastplate. He quickly pumped chakra into it, as it grew 2 times its normal size, but it still looked the same. However, the moment his tail and chakra was removed, it returned to normal. "Perfect," said Sasuke. "Okay, why doesn't mine have the same protection?" asked Karen as she walked around the corner dressed in her new armor. The black armor wrapped around her breasts before traveling down her sides and stopping in an armored skirt, with leg protectors only on the front of her legs instead of the front and back like Sasuke. "Because your role isn't to fight, it is to heal your allies and find the enemy," said Bilal, "because demon chakra inside the armor interferes with chakra sensing ability just a little bit, so the more you have on, the less you can sense." "Fine," said Karen, "at least it makes me look good, doesn't it, Sasuke-kun?" "Sure," said Sasuke without even turning around to look at a blushing Karen. He was too busy putting on his new armor. "We will get going as soon as I get this on." "Yes, Sasuke-kun," said Karen. Meanwhile, back in the Leaf Village, Sakura opened her eyes to see Naruto smiling in his sleep. "He looks so cute when he sleeps," thought Sakura as she raised her hand off Naruto's shoulder and rubbed his cheek. Naruto moved in his sleep and let out a slight moan at her touch. Naruto's eyes slowly opened as Sakura couldn't help but smile as she looked at the smile on Naruto's face. "Morning Naruto-kun," said Sakura. "Morning Sakura-chan," said Naruto back. "Listen Sakura-chan, I am sorry that I haven't been that lovely Dobby in public with you, but I have reasons." "You were protecting me from the villagers' wraith, weren't you?" asked Sakura as Naruto nodded his head. "Yeah, I was," said Naruto. "Don't do it," said Sakura as Naruto raised an eyebrow. "I am a ninja and the student of the 5th Hokage herself, I can protect myself. So I don't want you to hide your emotions for me just because you're worried about the villagers doing something to me. So stop protecting me." "I can't do that Sakura-chan," said Naruto as Sakura glared at him a bit. "It is in my nature to protect you and I can't stop that." "Okay, Naruto-kun, but I am a ninja and you don't have to protect me from everything," said Sakura. "Besides, I love you and I want to be with you no matter what dangers are in the way." "I love you Sakura-chan," said Naruto a second before he kissed her forehead. Sakura smiled as she heard those words for herself for the first time. Also for the first time she was thankful for having a large forehead because it gave Naruto more room to kiss. Meanwhile, just outside the walls of the Hidden Leaf, Sasuke and his team appeared. "Why don't we just teleport right into the village?" asked Suigetsu. "Because we don't have a safe house in there and because of their sensor they would know where we were in an instant," said Bilal as Sasuke activated his Sharingan and saw for the first time a large bubble that covered the entire Leaf Village. "So how do we get in without them noticing?" asked Suigetsu as Yugo held a bird in his hand. "The bird says that ANBU use a hidden path located not far," said Yugo. "You can talk to birds?" asked Bilal. "Is that a problem?" asked Yugo. "No. Let's go," said Sasuke. "Karen, do you sense Naruto yet?" "I believe so, unless there is another person in the village who has human and demon chakra," said Karen. "No, that's him," said Sasuke with a grin. "Soon I will kill Naruto and the leaf." Sakura sat up in bed letting out a deep yawn as she stretched. "I better get going before my mom leaves for work," yawned Sakura. "Wouldn't she know that you spent the night?" said Naruto as he looked at Sakura. "Yeah, but I don't want her to tell Ino's mom because Ino's mom has as big a mouth as Ino herself," said Sakura. "I thought you wanted people to know," said Naruto. "Yeah, but I don't want people to hear it from a rumor mill," said Sakura as she noticed that Naruto was grinning. "What?" "Nothing," said Naruto with a grin Sakura knew all too well. Sakura looked down to see that she was in her underwear. A red bikini that was tight at top and loose at the bottom with the normal bottom. Naruto could just see the outlines of everything under the thin red fabric. "He is enjoying the show," said inner Sakura as outer Sakura grinned before stretching just a bit slower than normal before looking at Naruto. She slowly moved toward Naruto on all fours, letting Naruto see down her cleavage. "Naruto-kun," said Sakura in a sexy voice that sent a shiver down Naruto's spine. "You can't touch them yet." "But soon," thought Sakura as she pulled back and started getting dressed. Elsewhere in the village, the council of the Hyuga gathered. "Why are we today Haishir?" asked Elder Hyuga. "We are here because of a request of an allied clan," said Haishir as the elders looked at him. "The Inazuka clan leader has requested Hinata's hand for marriage for her son. It is Hyuga tradition not to give someone's hand in marriage until the age of 17, Hinata is 16. Said a Hyuga elder. "Correct, that is why I didn't give her to him last night," said Haishir. "Only the council can allow me to break tradition to give the hand of a weak member of our clan to one of our closest allies. Still it a member of our clan to a member of the dog clan," said an elder woman. "Every once in a while you have to throw a dog a bone or else it will not back you up when you need it. Also my daughter is weaker than normal after getting the seal, we have an operating to hand off a problem in dealing with her," said Haishir as the council nodded in agreement. "We will need to debate this," said an elder. "We will have an answer within the hour." "Thank you elders," said Haishir unaware of what was coming. Meanwhile Sasuke and his team had exited out of the ANBU tunnel and entered the village. "Alright, from here on out no one say my name," said Sasuke as he adjusted his large sun hat so no one could see his face. A large coat hid his armor and weapons just like they did for everyone else. "Which way?" asked Suigetsu. "This way," said Karen as she started to lead the team toward the source of the demon chakra. "When the attack begins, level Naruto to me, but the rest of the village is fair game," stated Sasuke. "This should be fun," said Suigetsu. At that same moment Naruto and Sakura left the Namikaze compound. "So Naruto-kun, when do you think you'll go after the Akatsuki again?" asked Sakura. "Soon, but I need to find Sasuke. His time is almost up," said Naruto as the two of them turned a corner and headed toward the main market. Unknown that Karen was changing her team's course to get to them sooner. Also on an intercept course for Naruto and Sakura was the last two Sanins, Jiraiya and Tsunade. "I can't wait to see firsthand how strong Naruto has become," said Jiraiya. "Yes, the Akatsuki attack and then him finding out about his heritage. He has been busy," said Tsunade as they entered the market. It was the fastest way to get to the Namikaze clan compound from the Hokage building. All three groups were about to clash in the market. Sakura couldn't help but notice the glares that were coming toward her and Naruto as they walked through the streets. So this is what life was like for Naruto-kun, thought Sakura as people kept giving her the evil eye. However, the weird thing was that no one wanted to be near them. It was like they were walking with a force field around them. "Naruto-kun, can you wait for a second? I saw something I need for work tonight," said Sakura as she headed toward a small medical supply stand. She needed some fresh supplies to try an experiment on a medicine from the Namikaze clan book. "Sure," said Naruto as he stopped in the market as Sakura headed toward a small medical supply stand. A stand she had been to so many times she was on a first-name basis with the owner. "Hello Finn, can I have some fresh?" started Sakura, only to have Finn yell at the top of her lungs. "Get the hell out of here, demon bitch," yelled Finn as Sakura jumped back toward Naruto, a little taken aback by the store owner's reaction to her. "This is what I wanted to protect you from, Sakura-chan," said Naruto sadly. "No, it's okay, I now know what a little bit of what life is like for you," answered Sakura as she noticed that Naruto had stopped moving or talking. Instead, he turned around and looked back behind him toward a large crowd of people. "What is it, Naruto-kun?" asked Sakura. "There you are, dead last," thought Sasuke as he saw Naruto standing in the market. Then he noticed Sakura backing off from a store. "Ah, so I can kill the fangirl too." Sasuke read Sakura's lips as she spoke. "What is it, Naruto-kun?" "Ah, it's Naruto-kun now, is it?" thought Sasuke. "Maybe I'll kill Sakura first and make Naruto surfer." "Who is that?" thought Naruto as he focused the crowd to a young man with a huge coat covering his body and a hat covering his face. Beside him was a small group of people, a woman with red hair which was crazy on one side and straight on the other, an orange hair man and a silver hair man. "There is something up with them, something I don't like." Sasuke slowly took his hood off, letting Naruto see him. "Sasuke?" asked Naruto, confused as suddenly Sasuke charged forward, cutting down the villagers with his sword. Sasuke's sword combined with the speed of his attack was so fast that the villagers never felt the sword going through them. He was already 3/4 the way to Naruto when the first one felt the pain and fell apart in two pieces. Naruto quickly pulled his own sword before jumping in front of Sakura. Naruto's sword impacted Sasuke's as the two old friends fought for control for a second. Sakura, like everyone else, was confused until she noticed the line of dead bodies of people who had been cut in half by a sword. Men, women and child lie dead as their blood stained the streets. "Who did this?" thought Sakura until she noticed that who Naruto was looking at from across sword blades. "Sasuke? Long time no see, dead last," said Sasuke as he jumped back, cutting down another stunned villager as he did. By now the crowd had gotten the picture and ran screaming in all directions. "Sasuke, what are you doing here?" asked Naruto. "Ah, didn't Ino and her team tell you?" asked Sasuke. "I killed Orochimaru to get a real master and he has given me many gifts. Gifts that have allowed me to kill my brother, and all he wants in return is your death." "Who is your master?" "Everyone believed Naruto-kun was dead for years," said Sakura as she got into a stance as suddenly purple chakra released from Sasuke. The purple chakra made Sakura's heart stop as every hair on her body stood on end from just feeling this evil chakra. "How can you have demon chakra?" yelled Naruto. "This is demon chakra, but Naruto-kun's chakra is red and doesn't feel as evil as this," thought Sakura. "Thanks to my master Lord Seamus," said Sasuke as Naruto's eyes became as wide as dinner plates as the other three people Sasuke was with started releasing demon chakra. "In fact, all four of us have demon masters." "Naruto-kun, what is going on?" asked Sakura as she saw the look of fear in Naruto's eyes. "They are like me, they are demon summers only for the enemies of the Kyuubi," said Naruto. "Lord Seamus is lord of the demon snakes and the Kyuubi's oldest enemy. It was only wise for him to pick me as his student since you are one of my oldest enemies dead last," said Sasuke. "I will enjoy killing you and the Pinkcore before we destroy this entire village." "Sakura-chan, run get the Hokage," ordered Naruto. "We are already here," said Tsunade as she and Jiraiya appeared. "We heard everything and there is no way you little runs can stand up against the legendary Sannin," said Jiraiya. "I already killed Orochimaru and my brother, killing you all will be cakewalk," said Sasuke as he raised his sword and pointed toward Naruto. "However, I want Naruto first. You small fries can deal with my team." "That's us," said Suigetsu as he charged forward, each hand hold one of the two swords he now had. "I want the Toad Sannin." "I will kill the woman," said Yugo as he went towards Tsunade. "Looks like I get to kill the girl," said Karen as she headed towards Sakura. Sasuke charged forward toward Naruto with his sword out as the battle began. The sound of steel clashing filled the air as Naruto's and Sasuke's sword clashed. "Sasuke, why are you doing this?" yelled Naruto. "I was coming to save you." "You idiot," stated Sasuke, "you can't save me from something I want." "You have no idea what powers you are messing with," said Naruto as Sasuke smiled. "All I care about is power and I have it now," said Sasuke as he ran those hand signs. Fireball Justu. Naruto rolled out of the way of the building-sized fireball Justu that engulfed an entire store. Smoke rose over the village, causing ninjas from all over the village headed toward the smoke and the sound of battle. "What is going on?" asked Ino as she looked up at the cloud of smoke from her parents' flower shop. Near that smoke, Jiraiya the Toad Sage was forming hand signs. "Wild Lion's Mane," said Jiraiya as his hair expanded and shot toward Suigetsu, however his swords cut though the hair. "Time to die, old man," yelled Suigetsu as Jiraiya ran those hand signs again. Before spitting out a line of oil that covered, Jiraiya couldn't help but smile until he noticed that the oil was coming off the kid. His skin had changed, it was no longer the color of flesh, it was dark gray. His shark-like teeth looked sharper and his mouth seemed larger. "You seem surprised, old man," said Suigetsu as he gripped his swords in his now webbed hands. "This looks like when someone is learning Sage Mode," thought Jiraiya. "If someone hasn't mastered the form balance of chakra, then they take on looks of the summons. I need to stop this kid before he does real damage. Even in partly Saga mode he can do a lot of damage," thought Jiraiya. Tsunade wasn't doing the best against her opponent either. Yugo's arm had changed into the form of a giant black claw. She had punched it a few times only to break her fingers' bones on impact. "Pervert, what is up with these kids?" asked Tsunade. "It's the beginning levels of Saga mode," explained Jiraiya, "it makes them extremely powerful." "Don't you know Sage mode?" asked Tsunade. "Yeah. Cover me," said Jiraiya as he bit his thumbs and ran the blood across his eyes before slamming his arms together. "However, it will take time and I can't release my arms." "Fine, I'll keep an eye on you," said Tsunade as Anbu and Jonin joined the fight. Sakura punched the red-haired woman in her chest only to have her arm bounce off the armor. "So you're Sakura Haruno, Sasuke-kun talked about you a bit. He told me you were weak and that you liked him," said Karen. "However, I will be getting rid of some competition for Sasuke-kun." "I was," said Sakura as she pulled her fist back and this time aimed for her face. "But not anymore." Sakura's fist found home as Karen went flying through a wall. "As for Sasuke," snapped Sakura, "keep him." "Oh, I will," said a voice from the darkness of the destroyed shop as Sakura's eyes widened. What are you? Asked Sakura. Naruto's body slammed against a wall as he dodged yet another one of Sasuke's fireball. You're slow, Naruto, said Sasuke as he stood in a flaming building. No, I have been setting you up, said Naruto as he raised his fingers in a seal as the gravity seal Naruto had been placing around Sasuke. The moment the seal activated, a burning two-story building came crashing down. I don't have much time, said Naruto as he rushed through hand signs. He slammed his hands down as two puffs of smokes appeared. Out of the smoke came Katara and Saito, who had been glaring at each other like they normal do when they have a fight. Naruto? Asked Katara as she looked around. Sasuke showed up and now he has the demon snake summon contract, said Naruto as the two demon foxes' eyes widened. He has a team with him all who has demon contracts. And you want us to fight? Asked Saito. Yes, but not with me, said Naruto as the two foxes looked at each other. I can handle myself, go protect Sakura-chan and the others. I will protect your vixen, said Katara. And I will go and do some real work, said Saito as the two demon foxes headed out. As they did, the surface of the flaming building exploded from demon chakra. So you can handle yourself, Naruto, hissed Sasuke as he came out of the burning building to a wide-eyed Naruto. Crap, Sage Mode, how the fuck can you have mastered Sage Mode? That takes years, said Naruto. Or a heart filled with hate and rage, said Sasuke as he charged forward so fast that Naruto had trouble seeing. What the fuck are you? Asked Sakura as she looked at Karen. Half her face was gone, replaced with red scales and bright red silted eyes. The scales ran down her neck as a giant cobra-like hood came from the top of her now hairless head and ran to her shoulder. I am going to kill you, hissed Karen as a forked tongue came in and out of her mouth. She opened her mouth to show two very large fangs that was dripping with saliva and something purples, which she guessed was venom. Suddenly a howling sound filled the air, followed by a tornado of churka. The tornado hit Karen in the chest, sending her flying into yet another building. Sakura, you alright? Asked Katara as she appeared beside Sakura. Yeah, but what was that? Asked Sakura. A partly demon snake sage form, said Katara. She hasn't mastered Sage Mode yet, so we are lucky. It would take at least a 5-tail to take on someone in a sage form. Wait, that is Sage Mode? You mean Naruto-kun turns into something like a giant snake when he goes into sage form? Asked Sakura. No, we are foxes, not snakes, said Katara as a rattling sound filled the air. Crap, she is back. We need to buy Jiraiya time to enter Sage Mode, yelled Tsunade as she along with a team of ANBU headed toward the two young ninjas. Yes, Lord Hokage, said the ANBU as he pulled his sword and tried to cut into Yugo's arm only to have the sword break in half. Die, yelled Yugo as he went to kill the ANBU, however suddenly sand surrounded him. Sand coffin, said a voice as Tsunade looked to see Gaara along with the sand ninjas who had come for the Chunin exams showed up on the battlefield. Thanks, Gaara, said Tsunade as she looked toward Gaara, who was standing on a rooftop with a large group of sand ninjas. Ah, it was nothing, said Kankura. No one can stand up against Gaara. Want to bet? Asked Suigetsu as a giant scorpion tail came flying out of the sand, hitting a sand Jonin in the chest. How the? Asked Kankuro as Yugo came out of the sand. Both his arms were now giant pincers as a scorpion tail came out of his tailbone. Demon-style lighting storm Justu, said Saito as a lightning bolt larger than anything seen by either the leaf or the sand hit Yugo, sending him flying back. God, that hurt, yelled Jogo as blood ran down his chest. How did you hurt him? Asked Tsunade. Sharks and scorpions had civil wars long ago, as such they only have one type of chakra, water and earth, said Saito as Tsunade grinned. As such they can only use that type of chakra and no others. So we have to hit them with their natural weakness, said Tsunade. Hit the shark man with all the earth-style justice you can think of and hit the scorpion one with all the lightning justice you can think of. Just as they finished talking, the ground shook a little as Tsunade turned around to see Jiraiya changing as two old toads appeared on his shoulders. Tsunade watched as her old teammates' muscles got bigger. Looks kind of good with all the extra muscles, thought Tsunade as the next phase of transformation appeared. His nose turned larger with warts on it as his hands and feet became webbed. Then again not so much. All fear because Jiraiya the Toad Sage is here, said Jiraiya as he built up chakra. Most people were surprised at just how powerful the chakra was as Saito just rolled his eyes. Foolish old fool, your chakra is nothing compared to this, said Saito. What did you say? I am the best, said Jiraiya. You look familiar, like I seen you before, said Fukasaku as the green elder toad looked at the strange fox. I thought the fox contract died out. Ah, it did for a low-level summons but not for a demon fox, said Saito as the two elder toads' eyes widened. Demon fox, yelled the female toad Shima. Jiraiya boy, you summoned us to fight a demon fox, asked Fukasaku. We can't beat a demon fox, they are among the most powerful summons. Even Sage Justus are no match for them. You're not fighting me, said Saito as he looked at the two enemies who were under attack by the leaf and sand ninjas. You're fighting the summons of the demon sharks and the demon scorpions who are partly in saga mode. What? Yelled Shima, we stand no chance against them. You're right, Toad. Lucky Naruto has mastered Sage mode, and as long as none of the others have, then we stand a good chance, said Saito. At that very moment Naruto crashed those stone buildings, sending it to the ground. What the? His confusion was answered when Sasuke appeared. Sasuke had changed. He was now a giant cobra, his legs were gone, in his place a long tail had formed so that he could slither around. His entire body was covered with scales with a black and purple pattern on his back, arms and face. He had a lighter shade that ran from the base of his neck down to the tip of his tail. His hair was gone, replaced with the classic cobra hood that went out from the top sides of his head to his shoulder blades. His arms now looked like a bodybuilder's, and the scales came to points at the tip of each finger. His armor had stretched to cover his torso as he held a snake sword in one hand and a chidori in the other hand. His black and white Sharingan glared at Naruto, who was in the remains of a chart. Oh my god, said Sakura as she looked at the 11-foot-long beast that was slithering toward her. Naruto. What is that thing? That is Sasuke-kun, and as you can see we belong together, said a voice as Sakura looked to see Karen standing in the remains of the building. The general setup was the same scale-covered body with a pattern on the back and tan running from her neck to the tip of her tail. Unlike Sasuke, she had a red with black stripes running down her back and arms. She also had a more female figure-like breasts, not as big arms, and the general figure of a woman. However, she wasn't complete yet. She still had human's legs, but they didn't move. All her movement came from her new tail. They were just there. You disappoint me, Naruto, said Sasuke as he looked at Naruto on the ground before raising his sword above his head. Prepare to die. No, Naruto-kun, no, screamed Sakura as the sword came down only to suddenly bounce back into the air. What the? Asked Sasuke as he looked at Naruto. His eyes were their normal blue, only they silted. However, the real change was in his arms. From the elbow down was covered with black fur with razor-sharp 6-inch-long claws. Sasuke could see a mark on Naruto's claws where his sword had bounced off. Did you forget that I know Sage form too? Growled Naruto in a much deeper but still Naruto-like voice as he punched Sasuke back. Sasuke stumbled back, tripping over his own tail as he clouchped into a destroyed building. Ah, you may have mastered the form but not how to fight in it. What are you talking about? Hissed Sasuke as he noticed that Naruto was getting larger and growing muscles as dirt blonde color fur spread across his arms. Fighting in a completely new body is weird and you don't know what it is like to move around, said Naruto as Sasuke noticed that two black ears appeared out of the side of Naruto's face. At the same moment his leg changed into a moved dog-like foot. Naruto's hair blended into his body as blonde fur appeared over his entire body. Naruto picked up Sasuke and held him up. He glared at him as his mouth pushed out into a muzzle complete with razor-sharp fangs. A long dirt blonde tail shot out of his spin with a white tip at the end that touched the ground. Naruto's chest was still beyond ripped but didn't look as muscle as Sasuke's, but Naruto seemed lighter on his feet, faster than Sasuke was on his tail. Naruto's chest was covered with white fur that ran from under his new muzzle down to his middle cafe muscles. His legs were also ripped but mostly around the top cafe muscle, and the way he moved on them gave the impression of being light on his feet even though he had to have added at least 100 extra pounds to his body. His toenails had formed into long dark claws that dug into the road. The bottom half of the leg was covered in black fur while the top half was the same color as his normal hair minus the inside of his cafe thigh muscles, which was white. His arms were ripped as Sakura could make out every single muscle with ease even from her distance. From his shoulders down to just past the elbows were the normal blonde color while his lower arm was black. At the tip of each finger was a good 6-inch long razor-sharp black claw. The closest thing Sakura could think of was that her boyfriend now looked like a werewolf from the old fairy tales she had read when she was a kid. Only he was a fox instead of a wolf. The snake man Sasuke now glared into the eyes of a very pissed off fox man Naruto. "Now I am going beat you senseless," growled Naruto. Sakura's eyes widened as she looked at what Naruto had become. There was a 7-foot-tall blonde-colored fox with white fur on his chest. It almost as if the tattoo Naruto had on his shoulder had become Naruto. He was holding up a snake-formed Sasuke in his claws. "Don't worry, Naruto is fine," said Katara, sensing the worry within Sakura. "Unlike you, Sasuke, I am used to my sage form," said Naruto in a deep voice before throwing Sasuke through a building. Sasuke responded by leaping out of the district building trying to bite Naruto's. However, Naruto grabbed Sasuke by the neck and slammed him into the ground. "You can't beat me, so just give up and return to the village," stated Naruto as his claws dug into Sasuke's skin drawing blood. "I don't think so," said Sasuke as he took a bit of his blood and ran those hand signs. Summoning Justu. Naruto was sent flying back as Sheamus appeared on the battlefield. The giant snake was larger than anything the villagers had seen. It loomed over the Hokage mountain, only the Kyuubi was near the same size. Seeing Sheamus caused Suigetsu and Yugo to nod their heads before they called out their own demon leaders. "Looks like Sasuke-kun has decided to kill you, will Sheamus, Lord of all snakes," said Karen as she summoned a smaller but still as large as Gamabanta. The yellow snake crushed buildings with his tail. "Looks like I have no choice," thought Naruto as he bit his thumb before he ran those hand signs. Summoning Justu. With that, a giant ball of smoke appeared, the Kyuubi, his 9 tails thrashing around wildly in the air. Kyuubi, the lord of all demon foxes, stood over the village he had been sent to destroy a long time ago. However, his eyes were currently on the 3 other demon lords in front of him. "What are you doing here?" growled the Kyuubi as the sag form of Naruto stood on his forehead looking out at the 3 demon lords from the other side of an alliance. "We have come to kill your student Kyuubi," hissed Sheamus. "We hoped to kill him before he summoned you. He was no threat to you, his goal was to get rid of the Akatsuki," snapped Kyuubi. "Like we care," said Nai as the demon shark prepared to flood a large port of the village. "I will not allow you to kill these humans," said Kyuubi. "Ah, isn't it just like you, Kyuubi, to protect those who don't deserve to even be alive in the first place," said Sheamus. "I owe them for what I did to them while I was under the control of Madara Uchiha," growled Kyuubi. "Ah, your moment of extremely weakness, well, more than normal weakness," said Kamari, his claws snapping in the air, "when your mate died. Unlike scorpions who are known to eat their mates when they die, we honor and love our mates," snapped Kyuubi. "That is your weakness," said Nico. "You can't stop us without starting a demon war, and do you really want to start the war?" said Sheamus with a grin. "Would it matter? You wanted another war ever since the last one ended," snapped the Kyuubi. "True, I need to finish my father's work in destroying your kind from the world," said Sheamus. "I will not let you destroy these people," said Kyuubi. "They are lower life forms not worth of life, only a rare few are even worthy of being alive," said Nico. "They may be weaker than us and have a shorter life, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve to live," stated Kyuubi. "Who are we to decide their fate? We are a higher race than them," said Sheamus. "They are our playthings and we will destroy them." "Stop!" yelled a booming voice from the sky as a glowing figure appeared. He was huge, towering over the Kyuubi and the other demons. He wore a pure white robe with even whiter hair. However, his skin was deep blood red with black eyes. Even the demon lords looked at him wide-eyed. "What is that?" asked Sakura as she looked up at the figure looming over the village. "The death god himself," explained Katara as she shook in fear just like the other demons. "Shinigami. Lord Seamus of the demon snakes, you have broadened the code of war," said the death god in a booming voice. "What are you talking about? We violated no part of the code of war," said Season. "Yes, by having your agent Sasuke Uchiha attack Kyuubi's Lord of Demon Foxes' agent Naruto Namikaze," said the death god. "Humans don't count," stated Naya. "Who says they don't count?" asked the death god as he glared at Naya, Lord of Shark, so hard that even the demon shark backed away like a scared dog when facing a mad master. "In fact, because you had signed them into the demon summoning, they are part demon." "What?" asked Seamus. "You should have paid more attention to the treaty at the end of our war. It said that," snapped Kyuubi, "and now look what you have done." "What has he done?" asked Sakura as she looked at Katara. "It's part of the demon code. An attack done by either side means war," said Katara as Sakura's eyes widened. "War? A demon war? So a war we shall have," said Seamus. "It is sooner than I expected, but no matter. We will have to do this by the code," said Nyu, Kyuubi, "get seat Lolly and hatch high." "Katara, Saito, get our allies here at once," ordered Kyuubi as he looked at the two demon foxes. "No need," said the death god, "I have already called them." "And we are here," said a new voice as a giant tan lioness appeared out of a giant cloud of smoke. Her long tail moved back and forth over the buildings as the villagers kept running toward the bunkers. "Long time no see, seat Lolly," said Kyuubi to the queen of the demon lions. She was the first demon lord to be a female in all recorded history. "Kyuubi, what did you do?" asked a dark blue and gray wolf as he appeared over the village. He was Hatch High, the lord of demon wolves. "Saito, who are those people?" asked Tsunade. "Pay attention, humans, you are looking at all 6 demons, lord," said Saito as the humans looked up stunned. "They have not all gathered since the end of the war." "And what are they doing?" asked Jiraiya. "Didn't you listen?" asked Saito. "Naruto and Sasuke are considered part of our demon nation, so when Sasuke attacked Naruto it was an act of war." "War," yelled Haishir as he showed up. "Yes, war is coming to your world," said Saito. "Our world? Won't you fight it in your world?" asked Tsunade. "Would you fight in your own land if you had to?" asked Saito. "According to the code, the war must be waged in the third world." "This is unexcitable," yelled Haishir. "The code is law, we must follow it," said Saito. "Your vote doesn't matter, the code is order than humans." "So you're going to fight on our land?" asked Haishir. "And there is nothing you can do about it," stated Saito. "So I need to prepare the village for war," stated Tsunade. "We are not going to fight, let the demons destroy each other," snapped Haishir. "If our side loses, then say bye human race," said Saito, "because the snakes would like nothing then to feed on your flesh or use you for hunting. There is no way you humans can stand up against a demon army." "So Kyuubi, you training the human has caused a war?" asked Hatch High. "It isn't Kyuubi's fault. Seamus was going to go to war no matter what Kyuubi did," stated Seat Lolly. "That snake has been looking for war for a long time." "I know," said Hatch High, "I just wish it wasn't so soon after the last war." "Well, you have picked a date," said Seamus. "Fine, 4 years, stated Kyuubi as his allies nodded in agreement. "Fine," said Seamus, "then in 4 years we shall begin." "What is going on?" asked Sasuke. "As for demon code, we must wait 4 years until we can go to war," said Seamus. "We can kill them now, so why don't we?" yelled Sasuke. "Because I will not allow it, young Uchiha," said the death god. "The code must be followed." "Fine, I'll wait 4 years to kill you dead last," said Sasuke as he turned back to human. "Kyuubi, Hatch High and Seat Lolly may pick 1 human each to become your summons," said the death god. "Until we meet on the battlefield, Kyuubi," said Seamus as Sasuke, his team and their demons disappeared. "This is going to be trouble," said Hatch High as he looked at the Kyuubi. "Yes, but we have some time," said Kyuubi. "4 years is nothing to us," stated Cutlalai. It is better than nothing, said Kyubi. So I guess we will have to explain what is going on to the humans, said Hatch High as he looked at the humans below. It is the least we can do, said Kyubi. Also we have to pick summoners, said Cutlalai. That is going to be harder than you think, said Naruto as he turned back to his normal human form. Demons are not really like in this village. What is going on? Yelled Haishur Hyuga as he stood in the Hokage's office along with the council and the demon lords. I would like to know the same thing, said Tsunade as she looked at the demon's lords. Basically, since Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Namikaze are summoners of demon lords, when they attacked each other it means war, said Kyubi. What does the 4 years mean? Asked Tsunade. As per the core there can be no surprise attacks. Once an attack has happened the one being attacked gets to decide it on a time frame for the beginning of the war, said Hatch High. If you can pick when a war is going to happen, why did you say 4 years? Why not 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years from now? Asked Tsunade. 4 years is the max number of years allowed, said Kyubi. I see, and what was this about more summoners? Asked Tsunade. Since they have 4 summoners and we have 1, we may pick 3 more human summoners to even the odds in the coming war, said Seatlali. You will have none from this village, we don't want any part of it, said Haishur. We will talk with these demons and offer them the Namikaze and gold. Please, I would like to see you try and talk to them. They would kill you on the spot. They don't care about gold, and even if they could kill Naruto now they will see Naruto on the battlefield, so why would they bother making deals with humans? Asked Hachi High. What do you mean they can't kill Naruto? Asked Tsunade. I am part demon, so as such I have to follow the demon code just like them. They can't fight me and I can't fight them until the war, stated Naruto. Kyubi, we need to find 3 humans, said Seatlali. Do you have any in mind? I do, said Kyubi. I thought I told you we will not let you use our ninjas for your demon war, stated Haishur. Haishur, the war is coming, we need to be ready, said Shikuki Nara. Agreed, said Asuma, they are coming no matter what we do, so why wouldn't we help them? Because they are demons, yelled Suma. How about this, said Tsunade as they turned their attention to the Hokage. You may ask whomever you want, but if they say no then you will have to respect their wishes. We wouldn't force anyone, said Seatlali. We are not like the snakes and the other demons. So Kyubi, who do you have in mind? Asked Hatch High. A few people, but first there is someone I need to talk to first. Can we meet again in 1 hour? Asked Kyubi as the other demons nodded in agreement before Hatch High disappeared in a flash of light and Seatlali turned to dust before getting blown away. The Kyubi disappeared in a flash of flames. They left without us agreeing to it? Asked Tsunade as she looked at Naruto. They are demons, they mostly do what they want, explained Naruto. Meanwhile across town there was a knock at the door. Coming, said the voice on the other side of the door. The door opened to show Rin Haruno standing in her own doorway. Hello Mrs. Haruno. Hello, do I know you? Asked Rin Haruno as she looked at the man in front of her. He was dressed in black shoes, with black pants and a black jacket. He had a deep blood red undershirt and a red tie. His short red hair and his red eyes somehow looked brighter than his shirt. No, my name is Yubiku and I know Naruto Namikaze and your daughter, said Yubiku as Rin looked at the man. May I come in? Rin slowly stepped aside, letting the man into her home. He walked toward the living room. You can drop the act, I know you're not human, stated Rin as Yubiku grinned. I see where your daughter got her brains, said Yubiku. Correct, I am not human, but I thought this form would be more appropriate. So who are you? Asked Rin. Are you that black fox, Saito? No, I am not my son, said Yubiku as he picked up a photo of Rin and her husband on their wedding day. I am the one who took away your husband almost 17 years ago. Rin's eyes widened as she looked at the man. You're the Kyubi? Asked Rin as she glared at him. Correct, said Kyubi. Yubiku is the name I use when I am in the human world. Why are you here? Demanded Rin. A few reasons, but first is to see how my moment of weakness has affected people, said Kyubi as he looked at Kane Haruno. I am sorry for your loss. Sorry doesn't cut it here, said Rin. I may have accepted the fact that Naruto is innocent of your crimes, but you are not. I agree. Sorry would never cut it, but maybe some explaining is in order, said Kyubi as he put the photo down and pulled a scroll from his coat. Rin watched as he opened the scroll to show a detailed portrait of 3 foxes standing near each other. One she knew was the Kyubi, the other was the black fox she had seen with Naruto, only with 2 tails. He was known to be the Kyubi sons. The other one was a black fox with 7 tails. She was a female and actually looked quite beautiful. This was my mate Isis, said Kyubi. What does this have to do with the attack on our village carried out by you? Yelled Rin. Because when she died in childbirth along with our newborn daughter, I had a breakdown which left me open to a human to take over and me to attack your village, said Kyubi as Rin's eyes widened before she lowered her own head. Kyubi lost his family just like I lost my husband and all my friends. Thought Rin as she remembered for days after the Kyubi's attack she would cry herself to sleep. She knew if she did have Sakura, then who knows what she may have done to herself. I was used by a man named Madara Uchiha to get revenge on your village, said Kyubi. I can never forgive you for what you did, said Rin, but maybe I can stop hating you. All I can ask, said Kyubi. But why are you telling me this? Asked Rin. I am assuming you saw the battle today, said Kyubi. Yes, who were those creatures? Asked Rin. The demons' lords. Every one of those 6 demons are just as powerful as me, said Kyubi. However, we are divided into 2 camps and now we are going to war. War? Asked Rin. Yes, a demon war in 4 years, said Kyubi. And Naruto is going to be part of this war? Asked Rin. Yes, along with this world, said Kyubi. Demon wars are fought in the mortal world. So we are 4 years away from war? Asked Rin. Yes, and that is why I am here, said Kyubi. The other side has 4 demon summons, as such we can get 3 more summoners to join Naruto. And you want Sakura, don't you? Asked Rin. I want to ask her, but if you don't want me to I will understand, said the Kyubi, as Rin sat down rubbing her eyes. If Naruto is going to fight, then Sakura is going to be right beside him, no matter what I say or do, said Rin. That is one of the reasons why I want her, said Kyubi. However, there is a risk. The infusion of demon chakras is risky. The parent in me doesn't want her to do anything risky, said Rin, but Sakura will want to do it. The vixen is strong-willed, said Kyubi. Go ahead and ask her, said Rin as Kyubi nodded his head before disappearing in a ball of fire. Naruto Namikaze sat on a park bench as his fingers ran through his hair. This isn't right, thought Naruto as he thought about what had happened. I did all of this to save Sasuke and to bring him back to the village, but now there was no hope. He was a member of the demon snakes and he was a member of the demon foxes. They were enemies. An interesting turns of events, said Saito as he appeared beside Naruto. Yeah, said Naruto, makes me wondering if there was any chance of ever being Sasuke back. You know what I always thought about that, said Saito. Yeah, it was pointless even to try, and it seems that you were right, said Naruto. Where is your vixen? Asked Saito. Looking after the wounded from the attack, said Naruto as across town Sakura sat down in the break room with a bottle of water in her hands. After the battle she had rushed to the hospital to treat the wounded only to find that there wasn't much to do. Sasuke and the team he was with had been very efficient in killing. Almost everyone they hurt died and there were very few wounded. The village morgue was now full of dead bodies of people who died at her former teammate hands. She couldn't get the image of this little boy, maybe 6 or 7 years old, bleeding out faster than she could heal him. He just keep asking if his mom was alright. Most people would have been worried about themselves, but no, he was just worried about his mom. He died only a few minutes after his mom, both of them victims of Sasuke's blade. God damn you Sasuke, I will kill you for this, said Sakura out loud to the empty room as she drank some water. You may get your chance, said a voice as Sakura looked toward the window to see the Kyubi in the window. Kyubi? Asked Sakura. Sakura Haruno, I would like to offer you a deal, said Kyubi. An hour had passed as the council gathered again in the Hokage's office. The demon lords returned. So Kyubi, are you ready to tell us who you think would be best? Asked Hatch High. Yes, the short list I came up with is this, said Kyubi. Hatch High. I would have to say Shikamaru Nara, Temari of the Sand or Kakashi Hatake would best fit into your pack. They are extremely smart and is loyal to their allies. Two things I hold in high regard, said Hatch High. As for you Seat Lolly, I would suggest either Rock Lee or Hinata Hyuga, said Kyubi. Both are hard workers and drive to become the best they can. And you Kyubi? Asked Seat Lolly. I have already found mine, said Kyubi, Sakura Haruno.